Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Rosario singles to left. Hassel comes home with the game-winning run, and the Nationals walk it off 8-7.
And Pena hits this one deep, and that's off the wall. Jeremy Pena into second base. He'll round second, heads for third. Dubon scores. He's in with his 500th career hit. It's a triple, an RBI triple, and the Astros lead it.
Verghese, better block shot. Verghese with it again. Score! 3-0 Florida. That flies, long shot deflected wide by Verghese. Verghese turns it out in front. Score! Bennett! His second of the game. It is 4-0 Florida. Martinstein finding SGA. McDaniel's right with him. Steps back, baseline. He has been the mid-range maestro. Hurrdat Alexander pulling away. Off the glass, backs it home. With about a 5-second different shot clock at game clock. Hurrdat Alexander with three-pointer. Knocks it down.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill.
Good morning.
No,
Hi,
don't,
Shane.
Don't you start with me, young man.
What's up, DB?
I'm just yelling at Shane.
I know. I heard that.
I don't understand. When I want a response, he can't talk. He acts like he's swallowed a turd. But when I don't want to hear from him, he's like, somebody put a quarter in.
My favorite is when you want to hear from him and he doesn't answer you in any way. Like, he still talks, but does not give you the answer you're looking for.
Yeah, I think he's mastered the art of being frustrating. That's what that is.
And being on delay.
I got Italian fat on the brain. Why would I be frustrated?
Italian fat. Why are you on Chow Young Fat already this morning?
Ravi and I had like a 10-minute
Now
conversation
you're gonna
about it.
see, you're the type of dude that I can't rock with. You don't have to bring somebody else into the into it to validate you. Like, you can just talk about you. I didn't say what were you guys talking about. I said, why are you on fat this morning?
Why wouldn't
What do
you
you
be?
call it, Mr. Fat or Mr. Young Fat?
He's Chinese, right?
I mean, sure.
Well, I don't know which particular country of origin he adopts. But
Does
I know
that matter if you use a double
yeah,
last
so
name?
technically, like, Yao Ming, Yao is his last name.
How do you know this?
Because they talked about it a lot. Yao is his family name.
Okay.
And so technically he would be Mr. Yao, even though we call him Yao Ming. So I don't know if it's a Chow. I don't know if Fat is his family name or if Chow or Yun or Chow Yun is his family name.
So maybe Fat Young would be a sweet name.
That'd be a good rapper name. Yun Fat.
Is that how you think you can relate to me?
Hey,
Why does it
no.
have to be about rap?
Because like Fat Joe is a rapper and Young Jeezy's a rapper. So
Young
you just
MC.
put them
Fat
together.
Boys.
Yeah, see?
I listened to the Fat Boys 3 or 4 days ago.
Nice.
Song called Don't You Know?
Fat Boys.
No. The other
What? I thought you just said you listened to the Fat Boys.
No, I just said never mind. Listen, full disclosure,
Yeah.
I screwed that up.
Oh, okay.
I had Heavy D on the mind
Oh, okay.
and not the Fat Boys.
Gotcha.
Heavy D was who I was listening to.
Gotcha.
Another
Another.
infamously another larger individual.
Got
We're
some
not
big,
into shaming.
got some big guys out. It's all right.
But guess what though?
What's that?
I lean to the left.
Like Fat Joe, lean back.
So you'll know what that means, like when
Yeah.
I go. And
Lean
if I say something ultra, whatever, then I'm gonna go way the other way.
And if you say something like Fat Joe, you're gonna lean back.
Yes,
Lean back.
yes. But for right now, I'm just left of center. But back to the original question, that's gonna take you 55 minutes.
Like you're gonna
to
play in
answer.
softball, left center.
Yeah. Did you like my baby glove?
I did. That thing is so small.
It's the greatest glove ever.
I thought I went small
It
for
has made
softball.
more errors and more outs than anybody you've ever known. I guarantee it.
I thought I went small for a softball glove. That thing is tiny.
It is teeny. It's the way I love it.
You got good feel though, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's part of the reason I go with the smaller glove.
Yeah.
The big
What-
outfield gloves for softball, throw them. I can't feel them.
Which is why for, I don't know, 20 years I have the index
oh, you got the little
bruise.
Yeah.
And so I use the
pad.
because
I-
I'm a finger out guy.
Oh, me too. I
Although
use the batting glove though.
It depends on the weather, so I'm not married to the finger in or finger out. Sometimes if I don't like the way that like if it's cold and I don't have a good feel for the glove,
Yeah,
I'm putting it in.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ooh.
No, I get it.
Yeah. And I'm giving up a few inches. I'm like, I've been doing that for 50 years.
Situationally dependent.
That's you talking about your glove yesterday.
What?
It is.
It was. We were talking about Bruns.
Now you're riding with him?
No, it's just the context was.
I don't feel like it's okay. And I'm giving up a few inches. I'm like, I've been doing that. It's cool because I circled the block because people are just pissing me off this morning. So I got my mind right for Friday.
Who's making you mad this morning?
Everybody.
It wasn't me. I didn't talk to you yet.
The free goddamn world.
What happened?
See what happened?
What happened?
So I circled the block. I'm like, you know what?
What happened? Russell Wilson.
I'm like in my defensive stance. I'm gonna go orthodox because
not going southpaw.
No, even though my hand is a little tender, so
the right's a little tender.
All the one hitter quitter power is in my left. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready for whatever this Friday brings with you two yahoos.
So, question: if you got a little issue with the right hand. Is it more advantageous to have it kind of out there pawing with the jab, or
I'm gonna try to keep you at bay till I deliver
with the right, even though it's kind of messed up?
Till I deliver the quitter.
All right.
Yeah.
So you like your chances better?
Yeah, because I'm tender here.
Okay.
I'm, like this is
because the question to me is like, okay,
the stitches, the no knuckle.
Yeah. Can I withstand like several more soft shots, or can I withstand a hard, like every once in a while?
I'm just pawing to get the quitter ready.
Okay. So you're not really snapping.
I'm not trying to like win the rounds.
Yeah, just a pawing.
I'm trying to
just keep distance,
see how quickly.
Okay.
Or what's the best way to turn your lights up.
I feel you.
So when I'm driving, I'm like, okay, it's Friday. Shane's probably going to be an idiot. I walk in and you're immediately throwing Millard North down my throat, which was totally unnecessary because I rock with Millard North.
I know you do. I was trying to.
So you didn't have to give me kind of the Superman thing where you're like.
I was trying to bring in the family.
You're Millard Northian. No, I have my family.
Oh, okay.
And they're over off the district, over on 66. I'm cool.
Okay. Well,
I like Millard North.
Some of your family went to Millard North.
I know. I love her to death, and she's a superstar.
That's why I'm rocking with Maya, Millard North kid.
Some days you can have her.
It's funny. Out of your kids, she probably knows me the least.
Yeah. And she's probably, out of all of them, the most. Caleb is chill, but he's methodical. So the wheels are probably spinning underneath because he's a receipt keeper.
He's like the duck underwater.
Yeah. Maya's the most chill.
Yeah.
She's cooler than a fan. But I got to get back to this because when I got here.
Yeah.
Shane accuses me of yelling at him every time I get out of the truck.
Why are you always yelling at me, DB?
Today I actually did yell at him.
What'd you yell at him for?
I said, Shane, I'm trying to get in the building. Don't talk to me. Don't stop me. Don't talk about anything that's going to hold me up at this door. And Shane, without skipping a beat, says, I'm just watching a movie over here. Which begs another question.
Yeah.
He can't just say I'm watching 300 on my phone.
Give them nothing.
So I had to ask a follow-up, and I fell for it.
What
so
movie
damn it,
are
I'm
you
trying
watching?
to put the goddamn key in the lock, and I'm like, oh, what movie are you watching? And he's like 300.
You want answers?
Which is one of your like go-tos.
Yep. So of course,
that begs
hook,
more
line, and
questions.
sinker. The hook is in. And I can't walk because he's got it in here. And I'm like, Shane. So I changed my defensive posture.
She's like, ooh, why are you watching 300? What part are you at?
Yep. Almost, not quite verbatim, but pretty close. I'm like, Shane, there's like 50, there's like lines in that movie that need to be downloaded in the system.
Yeah.
And it's one of the greatest movies of all time. And I'm like, yeah, it's in like the top 5, top 10. And I'm like, I walk in here and I see you, and I'm like, that defeated the whole purpose of me keeping him at distance.
He got you.
He got you. In 26 seconds, I lost the foundation of what I was trying to do today. And then you come in here trying to cram Mustangs down my throat.
No, I'm just. Everybody can be part of the family.
No, yes, you did.
You
You leaned back in your seat. You did the pretense. It looked like Dwight Howard or somebody. And I'm like, that's fine. I like Millard North. It's cool.
I know. I'm bringing it into the family.
You didn't have to cram it down my throat. A lot of cramming going on this morning.
Like for a test?
No, it was not a good test.
You're not a crammer for the tests? Okay.
No, I'm not. You don't want to know because there's kids listening, and it's very unsound how I manage tests.
I mean, it's not like cramming for tests is fundamentally sound either.
No, big memorization guy.
Yeah.
Big.
I'm surprised you weren't good at tests for how good your memory is.
So like important tests,
yeah,
I probably have never seen the questions before.
Oh, sure. Like the standardized ones?
Yeah.
But like the in-school test with the information.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
But bad standardized test.
So I faked my way through school. Oh God, you're so smart.
That's not really
not really.
It's not really faking your way if you actually remember it.
Faking my way downtown.
No, that's making my way downtown. Is that Vanessa Carlton or Michelle Branch? I get them confused.
Vanessa.
Okay.
Remember like playing the piano in the back of a pickup? And I miss you. And I need you. And I wonder
if I could fall. You love the duets. That's why
I hate the duets. Stop doing that. Barely getting by.
I thought that was a good line right there. It was totally fitting.
By the way, do you know the name of that song is exactly how I feel this morning around you two idoids?
Barely getting by?
What line? What's the name of that song that I took the line from Jelly Roll? Weird. The song's name is I'm Not Okay.
What can we do to help?
Zip it.
What can we? Well, that's gonna make for an awkward show, DB.
Oh, we should try it. Can we mime the show?
We are on video, but that might be tough.
He thinks that is so fun. Shane, are you drunk? Are you drunk?
Oh, not yet. I'm working on it.
Why are you watching 300 while you're smoking? Can we get back to that? Like, that's odd.
Who doesn't do that?
Give them nothing.
And then take a puff, yeah.
It gets you like jacked up to vape. You're just like,
take a puff, yeah.
This is vaping. Like,
I
what?
mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But Shane's kick would drop you in some dark hole. It would buckle your kneecap.
There goes that ACL. See ya.
Tink. I'm sorry about that, but I'm really not.
See, you're lashing out now because you're angry. What do you? I don't know.
Title on the Florida Network said this is spicy. No, I'm good.
Spicy better than zesty?
This is by a mile.
Well, flavor-wise, it's,
not a zesty guy.
Depends on your preference.
Literally. Listen, get out of here. Nope, not about to get me going. It's
Rico, nobody's even sworn yet. I don't think anybody swore.
Rico knows it's coming.
He said, watching the show with 3-year-old KJ, watch your profanity.
Oh, sorry.
We haven't said anything.
I thought so. Good on Rico for bonding because he appeared to be traumatized on social media yesterday because
after the Knicks thing?
Because he just finished kindergarten.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of did the before and after. And I didn't have the heart to tell him she looks 15 years older than when she started because that would have added to his.
Oh, yeah. He would have had a full-on breakdown.
But she did look much more adult in the post.
Yeah. I think I saw that and I just kept scrolling. I was like, whatever.
Wow. Ravi, hater of kids.
I mean,
but lover of Rico.
I do love Rico.
I feel those things are not mutually exclusive.
Why? Because he looks like a kid sometimes?
No, because he loves his kids. That dude is like.
Yeah, his kids. I don't need to love them. His kids.
But you ride with him.
Yeah.
That means you got to get down with the family.
No.
I believe. See, most people would say that, and I'd be like, nah, he's just joking. No, I absolutely believe
it. 100% how I feel.
That's horrible.
No, your kids, I'm very much like Shaq in this way, right? Like, so you know how Shaq always tells the kids, like, we're not rich, I'm rich. Right? If I like you, I like you. Your kids have to earn my favor on their own.
Oh, that is tough.
Like, I like Caleb and Micah and Zoe, but it's because they've earned it on their own. It's not because the default I like DB. The kids are cool. I like Maya too, but I've only met her like twice. You know what I mean? Like, you have to earn it.
Oh, that is tough.
Like, you could be cool. Your kids could be a tough
It usually goes the other way. You like the kids, but not the parents.
Oh, that's almost never true for me.
Although there's parents are there parents I like whose kids I don't like? I mean, maybe, but we're probably not hanging out.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't hang out in general. If people are trying to hang out with me, their kids are not coming along anyway.
Oh, I got one.
Who?
I like Jada, Trey, and Kobe more than I like Tyler Mosman.
Oh, see, yeah, I like Mosman. Trey's cool though.
You'd like the kids better.
I know Trey.
Yeah.
He's been around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like Trey. He's the only one I've met.
Is there anybody else?
I like Mosman better though than I like Trey, but that's not anything against Trey. I just like Mosman.
I just don't. I think with young kids, and they're young. She's a kindergartner. How could you not? How could you not?
Because I don't know her. I've never met his kids.
No, it's just by default. So
No, there is no
thing.
default. There is no default. That's my point.
Wow.
Everybody's got to earn it.
She's probably 6 or 6. She's probably 6.
Zoe's 6. She earned it. That kid's cool.
Wow. Tough crowd.
Zoe's funny. I like that kid.
Yeah, she's a menace.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I would want to like be around it 24/7, but in limited dosages, it's pretty amusing for me.
And by the way, T-Mac's on to you too. You go knock it off with the Z word. You just are.
Zoe?
Yeah, that.
All right. We won't talk about Zoe anymore.
Same, but so there's 2 things I got to get to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move on.
Oh, T-Mac says, this is funny. Like the kids, but not the parents is a classic coach's line.
It is, though.
Why do you think I got out of high school as soon as possible?
It's always the parents.
I don't like kids.
It's like you want to choke a kid out, and then you meet his whomever the guardians are. And you're like, oh, I get it. Never mind. I feel bad for you, little Timmy. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I'm still like, hey, I still need you to do better.
Wow.
I you got some generational trauma here. Like, figure it out, bud.
Oh, my God. You guys do suck. Why 300 this morning, though? And don't give me that, well, you know.
So I was thinking about this, and then Gerard Butler.
And I was fixing my sink, and then no, man, just like, why are we on 300 this morning?
I bought 300 yesterday because it was on a deal for 5 for 15.
So you got 5 movies for $15?
Yeah.
Like digital?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Is it forever?
Yeah.
Or at least as long as the service you bought it from exists.
Okay.
I got the Meg.
All right, not bad.
Sucker Punch.
Never seen it.
Godzilla Kong.
Okay,
fantastic. A new Empire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that movie's off the chain.
And the new Batman. Whatever. I haven't seen it yet, but
don't watch that on your phone because it's basically shot in the dark.
The Robert Pattinson one.
Yeah.
A lot like Havoc. Hopefully your eyesight's good.
I mean, 15 for those. It's not bad.
No, that's actually a really good deal. Can I tell you something?
What's the number again?
15.
There you go.
5 for 15.
My man said 15's pretty good.
15's pretty good.
Every now and again, Shane goes urbanics on me.
15?
Wait, wasn't that distinct?
Oh.
It was a little more subtle. Yeah.
Duval.
Okay, stop it.
So, can we talk about the Batman movie for a second?
No, but can we talk about, like,
okay.
I got to say this real quick. Why is this thing so close to us, the camera? I feel like my head is exceptionally large.
Yeah. So
why don't you, juvenile, man, back that thing up? Like, I feel like you're in my grill.
So the camera's the same distance. We are zoomed in a little bit today.
No, zoom that thing out.
Well, we'll have to wait to
weird me out.
We'll have to wait to a break, and then I can zoom it out for you. Unless you want me to get up now, I'll get up now. If you want to fill for
no, because you'll make me
seconds.
feel guilty that I'll have to hear about it during break or something.
No, it's fine.
No.
If you want me to do it right now, I'll never bring it up again.
See, there you go.
No, if you want me to do it right now, I will never bring it up again.
No, does that work with your wife?
I don't think it works with anybody because nobody takes the deal.
Okay, fine. I just won't do it. Like,
no,
the passive aggressive little stuff.
I'm not being passive aggressive. That's the thing is I'm 100% serious. If you want me to do it right now, I won't say another word about it.
It's fine. Momentarily, I'll shrink my head.
Okay.
I feel like I got a great big Pro V1 sitting on a T.
Feel like a penguin.
I'm gonna need you to back that thing up, like way back.
I will. I'll do it right now.
No,
I'll do it right this second.
I feel
Stop
like a penguin.
offering that. I said no.
You said no because you don't believe I won't bring it up again.
No, I believe you. You're
really
that
won't.
dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm
If
well
I
aware.
say it, it'll happen.
Yeah, well aware.
Get to the
right.
chopper!
I don't know what that has. I don't know what Arnold has to do with anything.
Apparently, our wacky Monday and wild Tuesday are going to pale in comparison to Friday because we're off to a ridiculous start.
Yeah, and don't worry, we got Vrzal and Sautter coming up later too. So what could go wrong?
Awesome. I had one of my guys that was so mad at Sautter the other day.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I'm not going to rehash it. And I don't know why Sautter sent it to me unless he wanted me to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But one of our guys, and it's weird because Mike's a lot of high school sometimes, unless we're talking Nebraska, Creighton, and hoop season.
Yeah. I mean, all high school outside of that, really.
And then, but my guy that had the criticisms is a college sports guy.
Mm.
So he was like, "Oh, I haven't done this and this in 3 years for Sautter, and he's still just as." I'm like, "Well, that wasn't very nice, and that's not even in your wheelhouse."
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. Mike must have made him mad.
Some people stay on it. I wouldn't know anything about that.
No. So I know what you did the 5 for. It's 15, Shane. FIFTEEN.
Well, 16 after tax.
Oof. That's where they get you.
Did that cost you 1 extra package of almonds?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed on that.
How many vapes do you get for $1? Is that like 3 puffs?
No. Oh, yeah, because you gotta buy the cartridge.
Have you ever done the math on it, like how many puffs you get per cartridge?
It tells you how many. It has a counter on it, but I don't do that.
Oh, okay. I'm a dork, so I'd probably do the math.
You got the first part right. You definitely have the first part right. Okay, so I moved on from 300. Now, here's the other thing.
What do we got?
So I liked the look of your sandwich. It looked very appealing.
Oh, yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Okay. I don't know why you won't spin the cup around because there is no free advertising.
Where's the logo?
But there's
it's a very light logo. I didn't even see it.
There's definitely something to, if you warm something up, not warming it so much where the cheese like dissipates like water. Like you still wanted to keep its but my body. You still wanted to keep the body.
Structural integrity.
Yeah, where it doesn't like like the when we stopped at Arby's and I just wanted the patties and they put that thing in a microwave for 34 minutes so my cheese ran off like a runaway bride. I'm like
big Julia Roberts guy.
Like, why did you do that to the cheese? You cooked it so long. It's like not even on the surface anymore.
Yeah, it's not good.
I was scraping it off the cardboard box in which it came in.
Yeah.
If I believed in littering, I'd have thrown that out the window. Instead, I just put it under the seat until we stopped.
I know. You were mad too.
I was steaming.
You were just.
I was pretty upset.
You were 0 for 2 on that stop for.
I knew I was gonna be hungry.
Sandwiches.
That is sensational.
No, they did a good job.
They did that correctly.
And the eggs a good consistency because that's the thing. The cheese is bad, but if you microwave eggs wrong, like it gets gross in a hurry.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's actually very
soft
tasty.
And
yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty proud of them. I'm happy for those guys.
Why the adult breakfast today?
Just sounded good.
Yeah.
I was leaving.
Adulting or the breakfast?
Well, the breakfast, never adulting.
I mean, no Pop-Tarts, no Ritz Bits.
Pop-Tarts are so good. I haven't been on the Ritz Bits for a minute. I've been on Pop-Tarts for a while.
The other one that drove me crazy.
Oh, the Uncrustables. You got real mad about Uncrustables.
Yeah, that's just not healthy.
I mean, talk to the NFL. They go through those things.
That's a lie. I don't know where you got that from, but no NFL team that's winning any games is making a living on Uncrustables.
The Ravens? Are the Ravens good?
That would explain their playoff woes.
Oh, that's it? It's not because Lamar can't figure it out in the playoffs?
Okay.
It's the Uncrustables.
Husker X's and O's. He sent me a deal yesterday comparing Lamar Jackson to Hellebuck. I couldn't even. I couldn't.
That's almost meaner than my Harden.
And it's not true. He's 2-2 lifetime as a lower seed going against a higher seed. And I get it. He's 3-5 in the playoffs, but man, I don't know. Guys catch pass. I'm not gonna apologize for Lammer. I'm not, because he does need to play better. But the Hellebuck thing is like,
that's mean.
He must have got that from somewhere.
If he didn't, and
he's certainly not Harden. But I'm not gonna get into the defense of Lamar Jackson because, of course, he's a Chiefs fan. So it's very easy for him to poke holes.
Yeah, I'm not anti Lamar Jackson. I just need him to do. I don't trust him at this point.
Yeah,
there's too much track record there.
So I mean, you could be Josh Allen, where you've won what 62 games in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good,
and multiple playoff appearances. You ain't
0
played
Super
in the
Bowls.
Super Bowl either.
Yeah.
Oh, but Josh Allen has played well. Team game. Total team game.
That's what they tell me.
What's my man Thrill say? Now, I will listen to Will because he's relatively fit. A little too nice of perfect hair, but I can get over that, Will.
They get the whole wheat Uncrusties, is what he called them.
No, that is not healthy. Anything. So that's kind of a misnomer.
The whole wheat thing, yeah.
Yeah, the process, like.
It is what it is.
It's processed versus unprocessed. It's not wheat versus white. And I know you got a little Ryan Clark in you, so you're a little partial to the I'm not. I almost went off on another tangent.
It's not like I'm alone in that boat, but that's fine.
I was laughing at Will. He thought it was funny.
I was laughing at Uncrusties as a.
Shane didn't even tell the truth, and he said it so casual.
Oh,
I was laughing at Will. And I was like, how do you know Will said it was funny or thought it was funny? But then Will gave the laughing emoji. But I know that there's no way you read that and processed that fast because you need at least 7 minutes to let things digest.
I mean, so there's still talking about Italian fat like 3 days later.
Yeah, which he never answered.
Why wouldn't you be? What's the question?
Why did Chow Young Fat come up this morning?
You want answers? I'll answer the question.
So answer the question, Shane.
You can't handle the truth.
Because I don't know why Chow Young Fat came up this morning either.
And you said he kept you for 10 minutes, right?
No, he said 10 minutes. It was like 3 maybe.
Oh, but
it was while I was setting up the camera.
But it felt like 10 minutes.
When
I mean, it was great.
I thought it looked better this way.
Looks like poop.
Some people like to see our faces, DB.
I don't know, not a one person.
I think all of our lovely people on the stream here
sound like Sasha. Hey, when you guys use another graphic, can you make sure you don't stay small for that long? What's wrong with being small? I like the big graphic.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that though. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, what's wrong with being small?
Oh God.
You need people like me.
This is gonna be another touch grass morning.
In case you're wondering, and I know some people don't appreciate the validity of the New York Times, but that's where the stat on they did a study on the Uncrustables. They surveyed a bunch of the teams. Apparently, league-wide, they go through 80,000 Uncrustables a year.
Yeah. You know who eats those? The trainers and the players' kids.
That's not true. A lot of they have interviews from players that are like, yeah, I go through about 3 a week or 3 a day.
You also have Kevin Durant sitting in the locker room eating Big Macs before games. That doesn't make it a good idea.
Well, if it's good enough for the NFL, it's good enough for me.
Surprise, surprise.
If it's good enough for Kevin Durant, it's not good enough for me because he's a loser.
Surprise, surprise.
Cracky, nope, not everyone. Not everyone. My man. That's why you don't use absolutes. So, Shane, are you going to answer the question so we can get to the sports show? Because this Friday is going to be bonkers if you don't get your act together.
What is the question?
Damn it, man. Why did Chow Young Fat come up this morning?
Oh, you didn't know?
Gosh.
He's not going to answer the question.
Yes, he is.
Your ass better call somebody.
He literally was answering a question I asked him like 3 days ago. That's what happened. So I'm setting up the camera because yesterday.
Are you going to do the talking for him?
Yeah.
Or are we going to force him to grow up for what?
Ravi asked me the other day. He asked me, he goes, so does Chow do
Well, because I asked him what
martial art movies?
He said he said
I
that
said sure because he's in martial art
he's
movies.
not even answering the question, right?
I said sure because he's in martial art movies, but he doesn't really do martial arts himself. Other people in the movies do martial arts. So
he didn't do his own stunts in Crouching Tiger, Hidden.
So that's where it started. As I go, that's the only movie
he's
I
like,
knew
is
it
that
from.
the type of movies that he does? And I was like, well, he doesn't really do those types of movies, even though he did like Crouching Tiger. But for the most part, he doesn't do those types of movies. So I told him the type of movies that he does.
This morning, 3 days later.
Yeah. Police movies.
Because he told me
gangster movies
at the time that Crouching Tiger was like his 15th favorite Chow Yun Fat movie. And I was like, I didn't know he'd been in 15 movies.
Yeah, he's arguably that continent's biggest star, right?
Yeah.
Which is totally fair. And that's why I asked. I was like, so is it – because I only know him from Crouching Tiger. It's got like the martial arts stuff in it. And so I asked him, is he in a bunch of those over in Asia? And he goes, well, yeah. And then kind of left it. And I was like, okay, cool. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
And then he circled back to it today when I had no longer been thinking about Chow Yun Fat for 3 days.
Oh, I've been thinking about Chow Yun Fat for 3 days.
And then he's like, well, he's not really in martial arts movies.
Is he low-key trying to say chewing on fat?
I have no idea.
That's what it sounds like he's trying to say.
Italian fat.
And then he goes, well, he's kind of like Clint Eastwood.
Oh God.
And I'm like, okay.
Well, he is.
Because he was kind of in like gangster movies, but then he's the cop sometimes, and
Which is like instead of the 70s, 80s versions, which is the cowboy to the cop, he's the cop to the gangster, which is the 80s, 90s version of it. Because cowboys kind of went away.
Hey, Shane, where have all the cowboys gone?
They're gone.
Where have all the cowboys gone? He probably thought it was 10 minutes because we talked about it for like 2 minutes, and then he talked to himself about it for like 8 more.
I saw a preview of a movie this morning that made me think of you. It comes out in June, I think. It's called 28 Days Later.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's kind of how you operate on a minimum of 28 days later. Is that about right? Is that like the level it takes for you to process and then come back to it it's unprecedented.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Like, I never would have thought about Chow Yun-Fat's filmography again. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever.
Why not?
You can't use my stuff against me.
That's kind of what he does, though.
You need people like me.
God, I'm telling you. See, he's the CS word. And I don't mean
Customer service?
Child Savings Institute. No,
Oh.
That's not what I mean.
It's a different thing. We're a big fan of them.
CS word, get to the chopper.
Did you read Josh's message? Whose responsibility is
I think that's Austin. I think Austin names the segments.
Yeah, I have no idea what to call this segment.
Yeah.
He's probably like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Enrique. So apparently, should Enrique or Rico, should he have been like Siskel or Ebert? Because what doesn't
He's a big movie guy.
a 12-year-old know about every movie we ever talk about?
He's a big movie guy. Yeah.
He just 28 years later, the final of the trilogy.
Now you got to watch out because he'll give you the lore of the entire trilogy, like
I don't want to know the lore.
like he did with Pirates of the Caribbean to me the other day.
The Pirates of the what?
Of the Caribbean. That's a callback to an off-air conversation.
Yeah, why is it Caribbean?
I don't know. Because I've heard my whole life, some people say Caribbean, some people say Caribbean.
Well, no one ever says Caribbean jerk chicken.
No, they don't. There's certain instances like Pirates of the Caribbean and Caribbean jerk where people say
it's not Caribbean.
Caribbean jerk?
Yeah, Caribbean jerk chicken.
What about Jamaican jerk?
Why is Jamaican what?
Is that part of the Caribbean?
I'm just talking about the word.
Oh, okay.
Not the country.
Country of origin. Sorry, you have to bear with me sometimes. It's in my DNA to fall back into spelling bee mode.
I thought it was just a jerk.
I'm making fun of myself. I can say that. It's fine.
Oh,
It's like when Asian Wyatt says stuff. It's cool.
this dude said yellow cheese. I'm like, I don't think you can say that.
I mean, Asian Wyatt can say whatever he wants about that, but we cannot repeat or say it. So
the Caribbean thing is weird.
it is. I've never heard anybody say.
What was the name of Billy Ocean's song? It was Caribbean Queen, right?
That is correct.
Caribbean Queen.
Billy Ocean's outside my sphere of influence.
How would you know, Shane?
Well, the extended version of that is great.
You had a thing for curls?
I got a thing for Caribbean Queens.
You seem more like a Frank Ocean guy to me, Shane. Just musically. Seems more in your wheelhouse.
Shane, you got a thing for queens?
Oh, you didn't know?
Seems more like an ABBA guy, like Dancing
He
Queens.
and Ryan Clark would get along.
I like Dancing Queens.
Billy Ocean's 75 years old.
Still with us?
It appears to be.
So apparently, Jerry Curl Activator does not have long-term effects.
Was he a big Jerry Curl guy?
Yes.
Because I got the older pictures. He's just rocking the hat.
Yeah.
Big Jerry Curl guy.
I don't know if I would go with. It was more like a carefree curl, not a Jerry curl.
Ooh, what's the difference?
Product.
Oh, okay.
One.
So it's not like it doesn't look wet.
Yeah, one you're much more apt to leave on your pillowcase.
The Jerry Curl looks like wet, right?
Have you ever seen Coming to New York
No.
or Coming to America? I mean?
Yes.
No.
I don't know what Coming to. I thought there was a sequel or something. I really didn't know
Yeah.
because I'm not a big Eddie Murphy guy. So
Coming to America, the sequel, Leaving Hurrdat.
Coming to New York.
Oh, it's almost like there weren't any sports played yesterday.
Oh, so there's a thing called Jerry Curl juice.
No. Who said that?
I literally just Googled Jerry Curl, and the first thing that came up was juice.
It's a slang term for the product.
Oh, so it's not like a product name.
Wow.
It's like more of a segment, a product segment. I'm just trying to learn here, DB.
Ask one of your black friends about juices and berries not named Damon.
All right.
You're down to about 3.
No, we counted. I've got like 8 or 9.
Well, ask Jermaine. Although has he always had short hair?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
He might know though. Still,
He's gonna ask somebody.
he just does part of the community, you know. I asked Cliff. Cliff's always had short hair too. I don't think Charles was a Jerry Curl guy.
Pretty.
You know Charles?
Yeah,
he's coming back to Omaha. You know that?
I'm not real happy with you right now.
What? What happened?
Nothing.
Should I talk to Caleb and Micah?
Really
Do they count?
No, they would know nothing.
Okay. Do they count as black friends though? Because then I'm up to like 10. Double digits, baby. Honestly, it's amazing just from where I went to school that I've got even that many. I did not have a lot of opportunities.
How did I ask for this?
I did not have a lot of opportunity to diversify my friendship portfolio growing
You
up.
ooze diversity. You should be the walking billboard for diversity. You don't look like everybody else.
At the time.
What, were you identity crisis?
No, at the time there
You
were
saw little Timmy and you're like, oh, I look like him.
a lot of people that looked like me.
Yeah, so you should have been branching out.
I was branching out to the white folks. Because I mean, technically, if you look like me, then diversifying is hanging out with white people.
It's fine.
I'm very good at that.
It's fine.
But I didn't have a lot of at the time. Miller North wasn't as diverse as it is now.
Oh God.
And I don't know if you know this, Nebraska Christian College wasn't exactly like a melting pot.
Yep.
So I didn't have a lot of opportunity just in my spheres of influence to make a lot of friends that look different.
Make new friends.
There's a lot of mayonnaise in that sandwich, you know what I mean?
One is silver and the other is gold.
I don't know what's up. You doing all right?
No.
Okay, we're going to take a break because I think DB needs a minute.
That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody going to catch me.
This dude. Just out of control.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to talk to Tim Verghese.
I hope.
Inside Nebraska.
I hope.
9 o'clock, we're going to talk to Mike Sautter, who sends us unsolicited lawn pics every day.
This dude needs a hobby.
And then that is his hobby. It's his only one. 9:45, we'll talk to Matt Vrzal. Whew. I'm going to zoom out the camera during the break.
Yeah, do something.
Make you feel better. I'll stop Googling Jerry curls. I really was. I was trying to figure out wet versus dry. And
Ken's got the best one, though. Dion had perhaps the
Oh,
most.
Dion had aggressive Jerry. So, like, Pedro Martinez kind of ended up with, like, a Jerry curl in 2000.
So he's what I would call the carefree curl.
Okay, he wasn't putting a lot of product in there?
No, he had product, but it was still kind of tight.
Tight. It's like, keep it tight.
Yeah.
Is that like a Dominican thing versus a black thing, or we'll talk about that later?
It's on the Dominicans. I don't know.
It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Got to get ready for Friday. I mean, we have players who expect to win. I'm so blessed to be their coach. They work so hard to be successful in situations like this. So we're going to enjoy it for about 30 minutes and get ready for whoever comes out on top on Friday.
How much of a difference maker is your team's focus, just especially through this one and then heading into Friday?
We just have great player leadership. I've said that all year long. I mean, Jeter Woodley's the best catcher and the best leader I've ever been around. He sets the tone for us from the jump. But we're loaded with really, really good kids who fully buy in and want to win so bad. So we'll do our best as a coaching staff to get them ready for Friday, because it'll be a dogfight, and we'll do our best to see how well we can play.
It meant a lot. That's a situation that I've envisioned myself in many times, and it felt great.
How do you guys stay motivated? I mean, it's been 3 years, but it has to feel like job's still not finished, right?
Yeah, definitely. Job's still not finished, and honestly, we just work all year to play our best baseball in May and to play our best baseball for the state championship, and that's where we want to be. Never envisioned it any other way. So.
You're playing hard the whole way through. You had that bloop single, you turned into a double. Just what's the mindset, just knowing that the job's not done midway through a game?
Just keep going, keep the pressure on. In the state tournament, you can't let up a little bit. Every team is good, and if you give just a little bit of leeway, then they can come and get you. So, just staying down and keeping the gas on the foot on the pedal. So.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheim's, it is our big game chain player of the meet, as Juan Gonzalez of Fremont finishes out his career the right way, winning the all-class gold, the Class A championship, and you did it in plenty of events over the past 2 days. Just walk me through that last 100 meters of the mile. You're finishing out your Fremont career. Is that kind of what you expected it to be, or what did you take in there in that moment?
I mean, obviously I wanted to come out here and win my last race of my high school career here in Nebraska, but I definitely got a little bit more close than I thought. Connor Gross from Westside definitely closed that gap on me, and definitely made it interesting last 400 race. But coming down that stretch and the loud crowd at Burke is something that no one really gets to experience. I mean, if you compare this to other state meets, Nebraska definitely outdoes so many states, and it's a special place to run track. So coming down that home stretch and feeling the crowd and emotions is so special.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, where we're all the way zoomed out. I got you.
It looks a lot better.
Make sure you got those eyes fastened on the road this morning.
Actually, it looks kind of the same.
It's not the same. It's all the way zoomed out. Don't get distracted like DB. Keep your eyes focused on the road. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're as zoomed out as we get, DB. The table hasn't moved.
All right.
The camera's in the same spot.
It's fine.
It's zoomed all the way out. It's our normal spot here.
What did my man Brunt say yesterday?
I have no idea.
I feel like I want to copy that.
Right. I know.
Yeah, that was kind of douchey, but it was funny.
Are you a big PTI guy? Or not PTI, Around the Horn?
Is that the one with Wilbon?
No, PTI is the one with Wilbon. Around the Horn's the one with
Kalishaw? Tim Kalishaw?
Yeah, he was one of the panelists.
And they have the little
scoreboard that doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not a fan.
Right.
Okay.
I know.
Why?
Oh, it's ending today.
Oh, good.
After 23 years.
Although I do like the guy whose hair kind of came to an apex.
Tony
That kind of ran the thing.
Yeah, Reale. Tony Reale. That's his name.
Okay. No, I believe you. I just was like really, really like. And then it was a Kevin Gates thing, and then I was like, no, I'm sure that's Rally. His real name.
Reale.
Reale.
Yeah, he's Italian.
Is that an Italian thing?
I think the way it's pronounced is Italian specific.
Oh, like Verghese?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I didn't want to assume.
I can't stand you, just to be honest. I mean, just so we're clear.
I don't believe you.
just so we're clear. Shane, I have a question.
Go for it.
Is Tim going to be in the stream?
He should be, as far as I know. Okay. I mean, we'll find out here in about 15 minutes.
Okay. Why did Sautter stop coming?
He said he wanted more family time, remember? He went into that little diatribe about that.
Wait, a die of who?
He said he wanted to, help his kids get ready for school and all that kind of stuff.
A die of what?
Diatribe.
Wrong.
What, did I say it wrong?
Did he say diatribe?
Diatribe.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, what'd you say?
I know.
I'm not even going to say now because you're just going to rip on me.
See, that's why he mumble-okies, because I think he's afraid that we'll do what we just did.
I think there's some words he doesn't know how to pronounce, and so he kind of mumbles through them and hopes for the best.
Did you mean to say diatribe?
That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
That's what I said. Go back and check the tape.
You said try duh twice.
No.
Duh.
I didn't texted that.
Oh, boy.
You said diatribe.
You're Asian, Wyatt. I don't even know Chow Young.
That's not even how it's spelled, is it?
No.
You're going to tell Wyatt how to spell?
Wow,
Wow.
Shane.
It's not how you spell his name?
I don't think so. I think it's Yun, like Y-U-N.
Maybe he voice texts.
Oh, possibly. Look at you giving people the benefit of the doubt.
It's Wyatt. Jerry.
Well, that's what I said. Diet right. If you guys would just listen.
He's kind of had some funny one-liners like that since he's come into the
That's out of nowhere. That's funny.
Do they even make that anymore?
I don't know, but you're telling me that Sautter doesn't come in here anymore because he's got to drink his diet, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
And not that I want him close to me. I just was curious. Because he's hard to make leave. What?
It is harder to like walk people out of the segment when, not Sautter specifically, but if they're here, it's like, all right, we're done now. And then they just like sit there and you go, hey.
Kind of like the Minnesota Timberwolves, or would that be the Carolina Hurricanes, who were referenced as North Carolina twice during the broadcast?
Yeah, they got dog walked yesterday.
Why was it just an accident?
Maybe they're dumb. I don't know. It's possible.
No, hockey broadcasters are the best.
I mean, but people in general in different areas of life are stupid.
Wow.
So sometimes they might just be dumb. I don't think you can paint a brush and just say all hockey broadcasters awesome.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like maybe they're just
that's fine. I don't like to talk in technicality or extremes anyway. So I will grant you that.
God, Wyatt.
What did he say? I'm just telling you, if you invite me to pay attention to the stream, we will never finish a show.
He just says I am driving, and you know about us Asians and driving. Got to be careful.
I thought it was women. Can I see? I feel awful.
Let's back it up. Just back that thing up.
Well, I feel like you walked me into it.
You didn't have to say the thing you said.
I just was processing out loud. Damn it. I'm sorry.
Will thought the Panthers just know how to win the playoffs. That's what he says.
No, they're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice. Oh, thank the Lord Justin's just logging in because this thing would have been way screwed.
Yeah, because it's been really on the rails until now.
No, but he's kerosene now.
Just glad Austin hasn't jumped in yet. All
right.
Were you an SGA or Jokic MVP guy?
I mean SGA because
Kyle, you can't say that, man. You can't say that.
Oh no, Kyle, I'm telling you, KB is nuts. Just go, but I'm telling you, it's student certifiable, and he's got kids.
Yeah. Do you assume the kids are bad because he's crazy?
Remember he dropped the mailman thing with the red hair?
Yeah.
Kyle's nuts now.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't take himself that seriously, which would be even more cool. But
yeah,
because I like those guys. But I was rocking with KB early. I may have bad taste.
Yeah, I try to tell you this. You like jerks.
So did I tell you how many texts I got over that?
Yeah, you started to.
Apparently I'm a loser. Well, I'm in the loser category. I'm in the loser category.
I meant more jerks than losers because a lot of them are highly successful.
Yeah,
but still jerkwads, which is fine. I put myself in that.
And it's the guys that least had to worry about it that
were texting you.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like JB.
So you talking about me?
Yeah, and John. John was first.
Was he?
And I was like, shoot, Jay Les, you're kind of successful. I highly doubt he's talking about you.
I mean, like losers. I mean, like jerks. You do hang out with a lot of jerks.
I don't hang out with anybody anymore.
You talk to a lot of jerks.
By
choice.
Why the differentiation between SGA and Jokic, considering I hate both their games?
Well, that's why I was curious.
I hate both their games.
So you didn't think either one should be MVP? No. I was asking about the MVP.
Sound like somebody I live with. Is that even remotely what I said?
Well, I'm trying to ask.
Like, how'd you land there?
I was asking about the MVP. So
no, one of those. I probably would have voted for Giannis.
Okay. Listen, I'll ride with that. I think Giannis is criminally underrated.
I probably would have voted for Giannis. SGA second.
Okay.
And I get the statistical dominance of Jokic's season, but if he wasn't going to win it and Giannis already has an MVP as well, Giannis was way better than his MVP season.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
His team just wasn't as good.
We do that a lot, though, with these MVPs.
Do we?
I think where we'll reward the first kind of breakthrough season for a guy.
I saw some ridiculous stats that I've just been accumulating in my head.
On what?
SGA is the 7th in a row of the players to win the MVP that has not been born in the United States.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The Miami Marlins are tied for tops in Major League Baseball in?
I have no idea.
Walk-off wins.
That seems unusual.
The Anaheim Angels have won 7 in a row for the first time in over 2 years. I mean, just some gaudy, like, wait, what?
So just all over the place stats. I thought they were going to be related somehow.
No, it's how my brain works.
Okay.
Is anything related?
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes there's at least a strand.
This idiocy is connected.
Sometimes there's
barely getting by.
Sometimes there's a strand I can follow at least.
Is that my new favorite bad singing thing that you like, Shane?
It's the newest one. I mean, it's the hit right now.
Number 1 on the Billboard charts?
It's number 1, yeah.
Shane out on Jelly Roll losing weight. Why are you hating on
day and night? Has he lost weight or has he not lost weight?
No, Jelly Roll has.
Is he? That's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, he's lost weight.
He was pretty big. I was worried about his health.
My mind's telling me no.
You got to be careful at a certain size, you know what I mean?
You can delete the R. Kelly one. But I know I've talked about waffles and wetting the bed, but that's different.
Why?
Collide. It's a song.
I'm gonna need you,
and I
just
collide. How about
just
Big
Google-
A like coming back to that years later? My mind.
So that's Kelly right there.
That's R. Kelly.
Okay, I'll delete that one. I don't like that one anyway.
Yeah,
It's gone.
Google
It's out
R.
of there.
Kelly trial.
No, I'm not.
If you're curious,
I'm not Googling that.
just in case you wonder what's happening.
Can
there.
I get back?
Yeah, whatever you
to-
want to talk about.
Why did you ask me about the difference between?
Well, I was thinking about it this morning.
Why?
Care
to expound? Like, do I have to spoon feed your
I
little
do,
sorry butt?
I do care to expound. So when he brought up the Batman, I was thinking about this independently of this, but then he brought up the Batman because I was thinking about the Jokic thing, and it feels like, I'm not a huge Jokic fan, but I was thinking about how everybody else perceives Jokic versus how I perceive him.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels a lot like one of those movies that everybody keeps telling me is awesome. And I'm like, I don't like it that much. And that's why the Batman reminded me of that. Because everybody told me how great the Batman was. And I was like,
it really wasn't, though.
That's my point. Like
I agree with you on the Batman.
And I know you don't really agree with me on Jokic, even though you're not a huge fan of his game. But I watch him, I'm like, okay, everything this, again, the modern NBA, if you set up an entire team around a guy who's good, who's very good, don't get me wrong. If you set up an entire team and system and pieces around him for that one guy to be successful, his stats are going to be nuts. That's just how the modern NBA is. His stats are going to be stupid. So I don't put a ton of value. And yes, he is
kind of how I felt about Warren at tight end at Penn State, force feeding the guy.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Where if that's what your entire system is designed to do, or pick any Texas Tech quarterback from the late 90s, early 2000s, or early 2000s and on. Like if you design a system for a guy who is talented, yes, to thrive in that system, he's going to put up stupid numbers. That's just how it works. So forgive me if I don't put a ton of value in like, well, he did this, this, and this. It's like, well, so did Russell Westbrook, and I don't care about that at all. Like, I don't care about the triple doubles and all that kind of stuff. I understand he's crazy efficient. He's very good at basketball. He is not, like when we throw out these efficiency things about like, oh, he's one of the best of all time. Go watch basketball. That's not one of the top 10 players of all time. It's just not. I'm sorry. He's not. He's really good.
I agree. I don't love your rationale, but the end game, yeah, I get it.
Like he's really good. But the NBA currently is set up in a way where if you have a good player and build around him, he's going to put up crazy numbers.
But I don't agree with that part though.
Okay.
Because it's like the Jahmyr Gibbs knock.
Okay.
Right? It's just kind of random. Let me use golf because that's easier.
Okay.
But I got into these debates with a couple of other running back heads that don't really love Jahmyr Gibbs. And they don't really love Jahmyr Gibbs because of the great offensive line and the weapons at tight end and the
he's got things easy.
The play calling. And I always just want to say, would you like him independently of the things that you're describing?
So that's not really what I mean with Jokic.
So here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
With Nikola, I would actually be validating your stance on he's not that good. Because independently of watching him play basketball, you're probably like, how does that really work?
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, Gibbs has a lot of other things around him. It's set up for him to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
They can run him late. He gets to be used sparingly. But you would still like Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would still like
Jokic independent of how they've set him up.
Yes.
So I would like him to an extent. I certainly don't think people would like him to the degree of Kyle.
Again.
Are you laughing at Kyle or Joseph?
I'm laughing at Joseph because he always comes in with these like crazy takes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't talk a ton.
No, he doesn't. And then he just comes in from the top rope.
And they're always good.
Yeah. Hard pass on emo Batman. Bale is the GOAT. I'm right there with you, Palermo. I got you.
Emo Batman.
I love it. He's right. He's so brooding. He's got like the hair down in his face.
Every time he says something, it's distracting.
Golden.
He got a nickname early. I went with JMP early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's earned it. Kyle says Greg Ostertag would have checked him. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Ostertag wasn't famously mobile. I don't know if you remember that. We're going to talk to Tim Verghese inside Nebraska coming up next.
Yeah, it just feels like so long ago. In fact, I was thinking about last night. It's been over 3 months since we faced them. And I was thinking about how I felt that night. And I don't know how the players felt that night. I know you're excited to start the season, but I thought that night showed us at that time with the new collection, 3 new infielders, a lot of new people on the team, 10 new faces altogether, that we can compete, and we can compete with anybody in the country. And we've been marching towards that. We've stubbed our toes along the way, but like I've said all along, I'm not considering anything that we've done this year as a loss. I'm considering it as a learn, and that really comes because of our players and their attitude and their behavior and their want to be really good. So when they want that and they work for that, it's always a learn. It's not a loss.
Working for Noah today? Like
everything.
Yeah.
His slider was good again, and his fastball, he was able to locate that up, down, and in and out. And got some swings on the hands and forced some bad contacts. So it's been 4 or 5 outings in a row. He's been pretty dang good. So yeah.
But Jackson, he had a big game, including the home run.
Yeah, he's got a big swing, and we just talked to him about getting the barrel through the zone a little bit quicker and letting those arms get extended a little bit. And he put a good swing on a ball, and I was happy for him. He had a couple big hits today. I think Schaefer had a couple hits too.
Did you guys feel more confident coming out of that first game, and especially as this game wore on, you guys kept adding on more and more?
Yeah, I don't. You're confident, yeah, but you don't feel safe ever, especially against that team. They can score a lot of runs in a hurry, and so we have a ton of respect for those guys and their bats, and we were just happy to have Noah on our side and throwing the ball like he did.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska. Tim, what's going on?
Hey, not too much. How are you guys doing?
TV, we are okay. Will you come to Omaha and watch some Huskers and Ducks?
I'll be tuned in, but I don't know if I will be there live.
Okay. All right. I just, I was checking. 6 p.m. till if the weather holds. It's a nutty Big Ten tournament, which is why another reason why I think baseball is so hard. But, best wishes picking these seeds, right? What a debacle.
Yeah, they didn't exactly do you any favors with the formatting there, but
well, that and the fact that you have teams winning that aren't supposed to be winning,
that doesn't really help the case.
And I guess that's kind of the goal. You want opportunity, but given the format they set up, TV, it's like I just don't know if people really know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm always just confused when people set up something like this and you expect people to be invested in games that have no stakes, essentially.
Yeah, I suppose I should have been cheering for Michigan State last night, but I just couldn't find myself to be like,
to care at
"Ooh,
all.
even if you beat Oregon, you're going to lose the tiebreaker because Oregon has a better seed." But I did want Oregon tax, though, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Just weird. I much rather watch the SEC, like my buddy Dan said, go 16 teams, single elimination. I think it's riveting.
Yeah, there's better ways to do it. I don't love this format. I've not been super tuned in, just kind of literally just because the format just is confusing and hard to follow.
I do wonder, because it does seem like we overthink these things sometimes. Finally, the College Football Playoff Committee has announced that they're going to redo their seeding so that it's not all goofy the way it was last year.
They're just going to naturally seed. Right?
Yeah, it's just going to be the straight seeding and the top 4 teams get the bye. Tim, how much do you think, like when you think about these things, whether it's Big Ten baseball, College Football Playoff, whatever it is, how much do you think about opportunity for teams versus trying to have the best team win the tournament?
I mean, at the end of the day, you want the best. However, you want the best representatives in there. You want, in my opinion, the way I've always said it, in anything, like no matter what it is, like unless you are like just completely just not allowed to join, like you're not even given a chance. Like I think about 2017 UCF, like you're just not even given the opportunity to, have your seat at the table or whatever. I think if you are truly the best team, you come out on top in those type of situations. I think about it in anything, in the NBA, playoffs, in the MLB playoffs, hockey, baseball, like in everything. It's if you are truly the best, it doesn't matter who they put in front of you, you're going to come out on top. It doesn't matter how many games you have to play, you're going to come out on top. And yeah, it doesn't always work that way, but that's the way I've always kind of looked at it. Is like at the end of the day, it's like you still got to win the games. It doesn't matter who you're seated up against. Like if you truly think you're the best team, you can't be complaining, if you aren't given a bye and you're forced to play someone else. Because if you're the best, you'll beat whoever's in front of you.
So I don't know about that. People say that TV. I don't think it's that linear just because it's sports. And if the better team always won, we'd never watch. So I'm not quite where you're at, but I do think if in its simplest form, you reward folks' regular season with the most advantage going into the postseason. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like
I get is the pushback lack of uniformity in scheduling?
I think it's that. I think that's the thing. Like it just that's what it comes down to. But we're talking about the playoffs. Like, okay, how do you these top 4 buys? Like, how do you decide between? Okay, let's say hypothetically this year, a 1-loss ACC champion and an undefeated Group of 5 school that won their conference. Like, let's say Tulane goes undefeated, wins the AAC. Who gets that 4th spot? Is it? I mean, I figure if it's Clemson, the 1-loss ACC champion, they're going to get the nod. But what do you do with an undefeated team? That's not in the Power 5.
Yeah. Or what do you do with let's say you've got a 2-loss Big Ten team and they played 9 conference games, and a 1 or 2-loss SEC team that ended up having a really easy schedule through their conference, right? We think SEC gets benefit of the doubt and the 1-loss team, but you really don't. You're not comparing apples to apples because a 10% of their schedule was easier.
Right. Yeah. And this goes back to the conversations we've had about where we see both the Big Ten versus the SEC right now. You look at some of the conference, like some of the schedules within that conference. There's some teams that have like kind of like a very there's no Big Ten schedule that's easy. Like Nebraska has one of the more favorable slates in the conference. And even that, it's like, oh, they're still Michigan. They're still, it's still like a schedule with unwinnable, not unwinnable, but, toss up games and like legit playoff contenders. There's a couple SEC teams that are going to get by with, okay, pretty favorable schedule. And then there's others that face like a gauntlet.
Yeah, like Florida last year, right?
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
last year, that schedule was ridiculous. And they could have
like Oklahoma this year's one that I think is pretty brutal. There's a couple that have like some really tough ones.
Wisconsin.
Where like
Wisconsin's brutal this year. We just went through it a couple days ago, Tim, and Wisconsin's schedule is daunting.
Yeah. That one, them and Florida State are two where I'm like I am rooting for both of the coaches there. I don't think the schedule does them any favors in them trying to save themselves.
Yeah, I think Norvell's in a little bit of trouble. Like I think there's because the sentiment around him soured pretty quickly last year,
and he's kind of restarted his staff.
Yeah, he reset the staff as kind of the last gasp attempt to turn this thing around. And as you mentioned, Tim, the schedule, unless it breaks a little differently than we think because of how teams are, that thing's pretty rough.
Yeah, because they get Bama, they get the big three, the other two of the big three, and that's my thing. They're not going to win though. I don't think they're going to win either of those games. I don't think they're going to beat Bama, and then you close the year with or towards the end of the year you got Clemson again, and might be another year where Clemson just kind of puts it on them because I think Clemson's really good this year.
Now we have yet to do Nebraska. We've been doing this exercise. It started incrementally, right? The best quarterbacks compare, then kind of we looked at the schedule and then what's around them and then returning production. So I've been having Ravi go through this mental exercise. We did opponents, schedules, and wins of teams that Nebraska didn't play, and then we've done opponents that Nebraska does play. Because if Nebraska's going to cut through the chase and you eventually get to the playing games with the top six, Nebraska's got to get into the top six of the Big Ten. But this is an exceptionally difficult year in the middle, I think, of the Big Ten Conference. So far, and again, I'm reading them out loud, so I'll go slow in case one sticks out or you change the order. So far, between quarterback play, strength of schedule, or not strength of schedule, but wins and losses, we've kind of slotted these teams in the Big Ten, but we have not done Nebraska yet, okay? So we have Penn State 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3. I think surprisingly, Ravi has Michigan 4, Illinois 5, Indiana 6, Iowa 7. Does that sound right to you so far? Penn State.
I'm missing one. Penn State, Ohio State.
Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. Does that sound right so far? Without doing
the top 6, correct?
Correct. SC comes in at 7.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, I would maybe differ with some of these spots within here, but I don't agree with I don't disagree with this order right now.
Okay, so the order's good, the spot's not, because that's probably where I'm going to come out. Because right now I would move SC. SC is the only team that I would probably move up that hasn't been named so far. But the order of the teams that he has, I don't have a ton of problems with. I may switch Indiana and Illinois.
But I had them pretty close.
But that was close, right? Because we did wins and losses. Can Nebraska, in your opinion, creep into that top 6 given the consensus of what we think the top 6 is?
I think so. Just let me 1 second.
Are you looking
because I wanted to also look at Indiana's schedule and see if there's something I'm missing.
So, yeah, we went through that with it. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, to give context on Indiana, I just think they're going to come back to the pack a little bit. So that's part of mine. I don't think their schedule's super daunting, if I remember.
It's not.
I think they're going to come back to the pack a little bit because I think last year was sort of one of those everything just comes together perfectly. I also think, and I'd be interested in your thoughts on this, Tim, I think Rourke's skill set was uniquely fitted to how Cignetti's offense and how he wanted that to go. While Mendoza, I think, might be more talented, I don't know that he's got that very specific, high-end precision in terms of the passing game to make it look as efficient as it did last year. So that's sort of where I'm at with Indiana.
Yeah, I agree in that sense. I honestly, I was on is Indiana a little high here, in my opinion.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like I think they could be out of the top 7, like out of the top 6. I think they could be that 17
Oh,
potentially.
a lot. Tim.
So I had Indiana and USC very close.
I'm shocked because I think more people think like you. Almost everybody that I talk to.
I think they're going to be good. I just don't think it's going to be like last year.
Yeah, and like part of it is looking at the schedule. It's the toughest games are at Iowa, at Oregon, at Maryland, at Penn State. Like come November, like I don't think Maryland's going to be like a contender in the Big Ten, but I do think come like November, I think they're going to be a hard out. And you look at the schedule, you see like again, like I said, like at Oregon, probably almost certainly a loss. At Penn State, certainly a loss. The Iowa game is at Iowa. That one's tough. Illinois, like I can just see a world where they're not as old as they were last year. They're not as experienced. They when you're running with the confidence that, Cignetti coaches with and operates with, if you trip up a few times early on, it leads to further trip ups where you shouldn't be tripping up. Like, okay, yeah, you lose to Oregon, you lose to Iowa, fine. Okay, and then you get Aiden Childs in Michigan State the next week. Is that a trap? Like that's where I see that schedule. And I know we talked about USC too. USC is another one that I could see them being a little higher here. Like I could see them and I could swap them and Indiana out. I might even swap them and Illinois out. I also think Michigan's a little high, but I can absolutely see it. Like I can see Underwood hitting the ground running, that team just picking up where they left off, even with those 2 games without Sharon Moore. Like, yeah, I can absolutely see them coming in fourth in this conference.
So here's the thing, because it's funny you bring up Michigan, because wouldn't you agree that Michigan surprised us? Because Tim, we're going, and it's more Ravi than me. I'm the one kind of setting him up for failure, so I appreciate him playing along. But we're going through the schedules blind, and then however we come up with the wins and losses, we slot them. I would make the case, and Ravi, correct me if I'm wrong, Michigan had to have surprised you because that's not where you would have put them pre-going through the schedule.
I would have had them top 6.
But not. They're safely fourth
without having gone through Nebraska. Yes.
Yeah, because this is their schedule. TV.
Yeah.
They get New Mexico at home. They're at Norman. Ravi gave them the win there. Then Central Michigan at Nebraska. He took Nebraska, but then they get Wisconsin at home and they're at USC. So he has Michigan, right out of the gates at 6-1.
Although I did say Oklahoma was real touch and go for me.
Or even SC could be touch and go at Southern Cal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anywhere from 8 to 9, if you flip-flop one of those 50-50 games, the schedule, they get Washington at home. They're at East Lansing. They get Purdue at home, at Evanston, at Maryland, and then Ohio State at home. It's not a gauntlet of a schedule.
Not at all. That's actually really favorable. Like,
So when we finished, I was like, hey, you realize you just have Michigan at 9-3. Based on what you just said, they have to. Because they were the last ones that we did. Mm-hmm. They would have to be in the top 4. That's how we got there. But it did catch us off guard.
Yeah, the schedules, it was more navigable than I thought.
Yeah, much more. Like I'm pretty surprised at the slate there. Like, yeah, I mean, okay, outside of Ohio State, what's the toughest game for them? Like, you could make the argument it's USC, Nebraska, or Washington.
And Washington is at home, but I am glad you said Washington because
I'm not as high on them.
Washington's going to win 8 games, and everybody's going to look around and be like, "What?" Watch.
I mean,
he's a good coach.
I think I've got him at 7. Like, I'm not that far away.
Yeah,
from
but you said closer to 6 than 7.
Yeah, I think so. But like, we're not terribly far off.
Yeah, but 8 wins for Washington this year there's a big swing. I don't like the minimizing of a 2-game swing. So because in this conference,
6 to 8 is huge.
It's
7
huge.
to 8's not.
It's huge.
Although I will say, if Nebraska wins 7 versus Nebraska winning 8, we will feel very differently. So that's fair.
And if Nebraska wins 9 versus 8, it would be monumental. Tim, we had somebody say yesterday that, and he's like, honestly, I want Nebraska back in a bowl game. And somebody immediately clapped back in the stream like, if that's your standard, they need to be raised. Where are you with the degree of difficulty of what's in the middle of this conference with where Nebraska should versus could be?
I think should be is comfortably in a bowl game. I think that's where we should be at in year 3 of the Matt Rule era with what we know about this team. Even with some of the, questions that still need to be answered going into, the summer and into fall camp, I still think like 7, 8 wins at least should be the expectation. What they could be ultimately depends on how big of a year 3 jump they make, because I think 9+ wins is for sure is on the table, but I need to see a couple things really come together for me to be confident that, okay, yeah, like 9+ wins is happening. Because you look at the schedule and you're like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can see it, but I need to know that this team can close out, tight wins. I need to know if this team can step up in late game situations. I need to know what this team from like an early on standpoint, like, can they put their, foot to the gas and put games away when they need to. All of that I still think it needs to be answered. And hypothetically, I'm like, okay, well, I can see it offensively. Dana Holgerson, Dylan Raiola, the upgraded weapons, like, O-line that in the run game is going to mash. They are not going away from that run game identity. I can see that. I do have questions about, certain things on the defense, but I do think the defense is going to be solid. But yeah, I mean, it ultimately does come down to a lot of those questions that we still don't have answered about the Matt Rule era and about this program overall is, what they do in late game situations.
I mean, a lot of that to me is, and I know we say this a lot and it's kind of a duh, but even the late game situations part of it, because we talked about this with Andy Reid, right? We used to think Andy Reid couldn't coach in late games or manage clocks or whatever to save his life. He gets Patrick Mahomes and all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, he's pretty good at this now. Like a lot of it to me is if you've got the guy at quarterback, everything else sort of just gets better. And so whether it's late game decision-making, clock management, or whatever, I just look at it and go, okay, if Dylan's the guy we think he can be, I tend to think all of that just takes care of itself. That's how these high-end, high-level quarterbacks sort of just make teams operate.
Yeah, and there's also reason to feel that too, just because like early in the season, like that Illinois game, I think about, like, obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to, or the way Nebraska wanted it to, but that Illinois game, that early month of like how calm and collected Dylan was in those 2-minute situations and all of that, like you are like encouraged by some of that, but yeah, just need to see more of that. And I mean, I think Dylan's absolutely capable of, being that rising tide. I'm still, all like very confident in his overall ability, but just need to see it. That's I think I'm not alone in that. I think a lot of Nebraska fans would say the same thing of just need to see it.
That's how I feel about DJ Lagway, but we never go there. I'm sorry. Never mind.
No, fair. I mean, fair. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Like, I heard how much more of benefit of the doubt like Lagway or Sellers gets as opposed to Dylan, when I know Sellers' numbers were a little bit better, but like,
as a runner, yeah.
But like Lagway and Dylan pretty much had the same year.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
You know what I mean? And so I do think it's really funny contextually, where it's not like Florida was, oh, look how great this team was. Like they wanted to fire their coach halfway through the year. And then we just now all of a sudden we're going, oh, DJ Lagway. We assume that leap from him. I just think it's a little funny.
Tim, let me run something by you, because if Nebraska is going to make this, so the whole point of this exercise that we've been doing really for 2 months, building up to getting into the schedules of all the furniture that Nebraska has to move in order to get into the living room. So just last year, TV, Wisconsin, UCLA, Nebraska, and Michigan State all won 3 games in the conference. They were all 3-6. Okay? The next group up, Washington, USC, and Rutgers, 3 of those teams won 4 games in the conference. Minnesota and Michigan won 5 games in the conference. Iowa and Illinois won 6. Ohio State was 3rd, and they won 7. I only say that to say, and of the teams that I mentioned, the only undefeated team at home other than Washington, was Iowa. There's 2 undefeated teams at home. Iowa was 4-0. Washington was 4-0. Do you think we talk enough about if Nebraska's moving anywhere, they have to be able to start winning consistently at Memorial Stadium?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you just take, what am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. If you just take home wins this fall, you're at 8-4.
Including Kansas City, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, including that one. Like that's, yeah.
Okay. So Tim, having said that, what's the most important part of the three of the if you're breaking that into 3-game stints, what's the most important of that 3-game stretch then?
Ooh.
So you got your non-con, Cincy, Akron, Houston Christian, then the Michigans and Maryland, then Minnesota Northwestern, USC, and then UCLA, Penn State, Iowa.
I'm tempted to say Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland, but I sneaky think it's Minnesota Northwestern, USC because you have to win at least 2 of those games.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's because if you're gonna, and I'm gonna keep saying this until the season is over, if Nebraska's going anywhere, you have to beat Minnesota and Iowa in the same season.
Yep.
And if you look at it, okay, so if you win the first 3, you win the non-conference games, you can go 2-1 in the next 3 sections of the season, and you're at 9 wins.
I just think, and having said that, I think Nebraska fans would be more forgiving, and this is relative. It's not, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just relative. We would probably understand losing in Minneapolis, considering they've beaten us 5 in a row to begin with. We would probably explain that away more than we would losing at home to Iowa again on Black Friday.
Yeah. Especially if again, this team is what it is and they are playing the way we expect them to come November. I mean, yeah, the more I'm looking at it though, like that final 3-game stretch, it's very like at UCLA, Penn State,
that's a tough stretch.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, because that again, that UCLA team come November, they could be something. Like they might have their stuff together, like they did last year.
Stucky Pasadena, like
Can
it's
you
giving me the willies?
Is there a world in which, because UCLA is one of the teams I had the hardest time with. Whenever they came up on somebody's schedule, I had one of the hardest times with UCLA because I really don't know which direction this team goes. Because I think there's a version where we saw them at the end of last year where they're playing a lot better. They're kind of playing hard-nosed, what I expect to be Deshaun Foster type football. It seems like the culture is coming together, and that's the team we saw play Nebraska. We're like, that's kind of a tough team out there. But then you've got, I do really wonder about the Nico situation and how much that has the potential to compromise the culture of that locker room. And I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really don't. And so that's
I'm
why
not. Yeah.
It sounds like wishful thinking to think it would compromise the culture.
That's my thing. I think like UCLA is one of those, like for him it's a homecoming. Those guys love him. He's from the area. Like I don't think that's as big of a distraction as some have made it out to be. I think where it comes down to with UCLA and a lot of these teams that we're just not sure, even Indiana, some of these teams, how well can you reload in the trenches? That's what I think. But UCLA at the end of the season, it was like, hey, that O line is kind of moving really well together as a unit. They had Jay Toia on the defensive line. They had a pretty solid, pass rush. They lose Jay. They lost one of their best edge rushers, Femi. And I think for UCLA, it comes down to, I still think they're going to be physical. They are pretty veteran heavy on both sides of the line, but can the transfers you made on the offensive line, can they impact you immediately? Are they able to step up and pick up where the last unit left off? I think that's where I'm at with Indiana too, is you were so veteran heavy last year. Yeah, the trenches helped for sure, but just across your roster, you're so veteran heavy. Can you replace that veteran experience? And specifically on both lines of scrimmage, are you going to be physical enough when, you are faced up against, some of these teams? I mean, Nebraska faces that same question, of course, but all of these other teams still have that to prove, and I don't think that's something I don't think we're talking enough about that with those two specific teams. I think like USC recognized that, and they got significantly bigger on both sides of the line.
Tim, all in or all out on Minnesota?
How much is all in?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, is that like 8 wins? Is that all in?
I think they're going to be pretty good, but I guess I need to quantify that. Like I would, if I gave you 7.5 is the win total.
Yeah. Man, I think they go over. Yeah, they get Ohio State and Oregon on the schedule, but like the third hardest game behind that is a toss-up between Iowa and Nebraska, in my opinion.
And they get Nebraska at home.
Yeah.
What about all in or all out on Washington?
Washington, I'm more hesitant because I can see because they go to UCLA even later in November. They've closed the year against Oregon. They go to Michigan. They also get Ohio State in that schedule. They get Washington State in between there. And I just think those games always get played closer than they, maybe should. I think Washington's a significantly better team than Washington State going into the season, but that game is always played close. I can see Minnesota, I can see a world where Minnesota ends the year with just 2 losses. I don't think there's a world where Washington gets to 10 wins. I think 9 wins is even tough for them. I think Washington, I think the ceiling is 8 or 9 wins. I can see a world where Minnesota makes a really strong push for 10 plus wins.
If Nebraska's going to move, they're going to have to get a little help from teams that they don't play that will have to have a few upsets of their opponents. Yep. So that's Rutgers, that's Wisconsin, that's Michigan State. Even though Nebraska has Michigan State on the schedule. Of those 3, Rutgers, Michigan State, Wisconsin, who do you believe the most in?
Okay, I think week to week, I think Rutgers, if this makes sense, week to week, it's Rutgers. If you're asking beginning or end of the season, I think end of the season, Michigan State is going to be like a thorn for some teams.
Okay, because they are going to need some help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I don't think West Side, Wisconsin's schedule is
just
pretty ugly.
It's just rough.
And they have Alabama week 3, which will be hard to recover from however that game goes. But it would be nice if one of those other 2 teams can knock off a few foes.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now, Michigan State's schedule. Michigan State, the ends the year at Indiana versus Michigan, Minnesota, Penn State, Iowa, Maryland. Nebraska would be super appreciative if they, could take down or play Minnesota closer, take down Minnesota, take down Iowa, take down Maryland. Those 3, if you take care of those games, Nebraska would be appreciative.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of talked about ceiling for Minnesota. You kind of talked about ceiling for Washington. At this point in the offseason, is Nebraska's ceiling closer to Minnesota's or to Washington's in your mind?
I think it's closer to Minnesota just because they do avoid Ohio State and Oregon. And I can see a world where, the toughest game on the schedule is going to be Penn State for sure. That's probably the one you mark up as before the season, almost certainly going to be a loss. But I think there's a lot of variance in what USC and UCLA could be. I think early season Michigan, you have an opportunity to catch a growing Bryce Underwood. Would it surprise you if the Michigan-Nebraska game went the way the Nebraska-Illinois game did, but the results were flipped where Nebraska's the one that comes out on top just because an inexperienced young quarterback makes a mistake late in the game?
That would not surprise me, no. Not at all.
That's kind of how I see that game potentially going.
It's going to be a fantastic season. The more we've gone through the mini hurdles to the big hurdles to the breaking down the schedule, this is muddled. And this is what I told Ravi. My whole thing in landing the plane, starting with quarterback play and who needs to emerge. And we went through this with UTV with with the young quarterbacks and Damon Williams and Raiola and these guys. At the end of the day, I think my goal is if Nebraska pulls this off, because we make all these assumptions in year 3. Well, it's year 3. It's year 3. And so we kind of just fast forward to wanting success, and we like the roster. It will still have been a tremendous coaching job if they do, because the degree of difficulty is really, really high. So I think I'm building the case for appreciation because we're very matter of fact at what we think is going to happen, but it will be extremely difficult to pull off.
Yeah. And I think context is going to be something that's going to be important to, like, we said it when we were talking about just circling quarterbacks, but it's about the conference as a whole. This isn't the Big Ten of 2012 and 2013 anymore. Like, this is a loaded conference. This is one of the big 2 conferences in the country. Like, to come out of this bowl eligible, to come out of this, and I'm not saying this to recalibrate expectations or for people to give out that early caveat of like, oh, you should give Nebraska, kind of they should still win 8, 7, 8 plus games.
Hear my heart. I am definitely not couching anything.
Yeah, and that's like 6 games, 6 wins, 7 wins. Like, that's not acceptable for year 3, regardless of how tough I think this conference is. But I think it's important to recognize that getting to 9, 10 wins in this conference now is significantly harder than it was like between 2012 and 2016.
That's our guy, Tim Verghese, Inside Nebraska. Tim, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Sir, appreciate y'all.
To his point, of this isn't 2011, 2012. Who's the team that finished with at Indiana, at home versus Illinois, and at Minnesota? And I said, that seems like a gauntlet in November. And it was Indiana, Illinois.
Is that Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I remember that yesterday because I was like, oh, that's rough. And look at Illinois, Indiana, and Minnesota.
Right.
Like those aren't the teams you think of as like
just further let you know the degree of difficulty.
No, it's going to be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
And
it's a big boy conference.
It certainly is. It's not even 2018 when Northwestern wins 9, 10 games? It's not even then.
Yeah.
Like, we've come a long way since Northwestern was winning divisions. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. I think it's time to go through Nebraska's schedule coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Got to get ready for Friday. I mean, we have players who expect to win. I'm so blessed to be their coach. They work so hard to be successful in situations like this. So we're going to enjoy it for about 30 minutes and get ready for whoever comes out on top on Friday.
How much of a difference maker is your team's focus, just especially through this one and then heading into Friday?
We just have great player leadership. I've said that all year long. I mean, Jeter Wordley's the best catcher and the best leader I've ever been around. He sets the tone for us from the jump. But we're loaded with really, really good kids who fully buy in and want to win so bad. So we'll do our best as a coaching staff to get them ready for Friday, because it'll be a dogfight, and we'll do our best to see how well we can play.
It meant a lot. That's a situation that I've envisioned myself in many times, and it felt great.
How do you guys stay motivated? I mean, it's been 3 years, but it has to feel like job's still not finished, right?
Yeah, definitely. Job's still not finished. And honestly, we just work all year to play our best baseball in May and to play our best baseball for the state championship. And that's where we want to be. Never envisioned it any other way. So
you're playing hard the whole way through. You had that bloop single A turned into a double. Just what's the mindset just knowing that the job's not done midway through a game?
Just keep going, keep the pressure on. In the state tournament, you can't let up a little bit. Every team is good, and if you give just a little bit of leeway, then they can come and get you. So just staying down and keeping the gas on the foot on the pedal. So.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the meet as Juan Gonzalez of Fremont finishes out his career the right way, winning the all-class gold, the Class A championship, and you did it in plenty of events over the past 2 days. Yeah. Just walk me through that last 100 meters of the mile. You're finishing out your Fremont career. Is that kind of what you expected it to be, or what did you take in there in that moment?
I mean, obviously I wanted to come out here and win my last race of my high school career here in Nebraska, but it definitely got a little bit more close than I thought. Connor Gross from West Side definitely closed that gap on me and definitely made it interesting last 400 race. But coming down that stretch and the loud crowd at Burke is something that no one really gets to experience. I mean, if you compare this to other state meets, Nebraska definitely outdoes so many states, and it's a special place to run track. So, coming down that home stretch and feeling the crowd and emotions is so special.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, and we've got to remind you the college baseball championship's right around the corner. Probably the only thing I don't like about that is figuring out where to park. That's why Metro Transit has you covered, whether it's the bus that's going around downtown after the games to make sure you can get to where you're going, or they've got an extra bus coming out from West Roads where you can park for free and head downtown. That's my preferred option of trying to get down to college baseball championships. Make sure you go check it out, ometro.com, to figure out what route you're going to take down to college baseball championships. All right, DB.
Yeah, so
I hate driving down there. I love it, but I hate driving down there.
No, that's one of those times where I wish I could get like a fake helicopter and just have somebody
drop you in.
Because I think about helicoptering all the time.
I don't think you actually would.
But I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Although if I didn't have to go, like a lot of times I'll see like the helicopters from the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll fly over like the practice field and stuff. I was like, oh, that's not too high.
How low can they get you?
But like, can I like just, what is it when you, is it grappling? What is it when you rafter? What is it when you come down on like the cable cord and you just like go in?
Rappel?
Sure. Maybe
that's when it's on a building. I don't know if that's what it is.
I don't know what it is, but maybe you could just do
so you don't
that.
have to land.
Yeah, or just I would do that in crowds
Yeah.
because I would go to a lot more things.
Just drop in, drop out.
Yeah. And I would let you like pick me up, like just drop the thing down like they do in the movies, and I could like strap it like by my shin and my calf and put the thing by my belt, and then you just like lift me up. I would do that. I don't know why that's ridiculous to you. I think about it a lot.
I just see them picking you up in like the outfield stands. Just clip me in, guys.
Yeah. Like, why not?
It's just funny. It's just funny to think about.
And you only have to be like however high off the ground you need to be able to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Just get me out of there, and then just set me right back down.
I don't know why it's funny.
Because I think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lot of downtime in this medulla oblongata.
More practical, maybe just take Metro Transit. That might help. That might be a little easier for you.
Sure. I'm still traumatized.
I think they got no fly zones over the stadiums too.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, this poll that I did for sunflower seeds is bugging me.
What was the question?
Is it time to start putting a non-GMO label on sunflower seeds?
Mostly because you're worried about the size of the seeds.
They're just losing their taste.
Gotten out of hand.
And maybe I've just gotten a couple of bad bags because that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I don't need my sunflower seeds the size of my thumbnail.
No, that's aggressive.
But they all are.
Nah, I'm okay. I'm out on it.
And I think they've sacrificed some flavor.
Mm.
Like, I think chicken wings can be too big.
Oh, okay.
They don't taste as good.
So I agree with that because especially if we're doing, I know you're a sauce dipper rather than a covered in sauce.
Yeah.
But you lose if you do have the sauce on there, you can lose your sauce to chicken ratio if it's too big.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I just taste.
Yeah.
Just taste.
Just out on it.
You know?
All right. How'd the poll come back on the sunflower seeds?
77% said no.
Oh, so they want the giant
Apparently
seeds.
like your giant seeds.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't need that. I've never had mustard seeds.
I have mustard seed in my cabinet.
Yeah. Here's the real question, though. Do you have even the faith of a mustard seed in Nebraska this season?
I do. I do.
Because I think it's time to go through their schedule.
Yeah, I can't wait how you're going to manipulate this bad boy.
Oh, no manipulation involved.
Oh, no manipulation involved.
I know what I've done.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and buckle myself in and listen to this tomfoolery.
There's only a little variance that I'm going to give
as one Ravi Lulla
just a little variance
goes through Nebraska's schedule.
So I know I know what we've got here in terms of what I've said for other teams, right? Because that's going to impact how this schedule goes.
Yep.
So
would you like me to go through your order again?
No, I got the order. We can go through it at the end here.
Okay. Because your fourth place team you have at 9 wins.
Yep.
And your fifth place team you have at 8 wins.
Yep.
And your
8 verging on 9 or 8 to 9-ish, right?
And IU is at 8 too.
Yep. I think it's going to be messy.
Okay.
Messy in the middle.
I'll let you even. I mean, clearly there could be some teams that are tied.
Sure. Yeah. That won't be an issue here.
All right. So we are on the road in air quotes at Arrowhead, regardless of whatever the Kelsey said. Cool story. Woohoo.
It's going to be a virtual home game.
8 o'clock, man. Turn around and do a Friday morning show. Let's go.
You're going to sleep 0.
It's fine. I didn't sleep last night either.
0.
Like this Samsonite luggage I got going on. I need some zucchini or cucumbers, the things you put on your eyeballs.
Does that stuff work?
Do
You brought it up.
Does it work? I can't exactly tell you I've ever slept with vegetables on my face.
You brought it up. How am I supposed to know that?
I just see it in the movies.
Okay.
I don't know if it works.
Okay. That's all you had to say.
Sucker.
I get tired.
Who is that?
What?
It's our man Jack. I mean, if you're tired, and then you're putting zucchini on your eyes. So
Jack, who?
Our guy Jack in Tennessee.
Oh, is that Cactus Jack?
Yeah.
All right, let me hear it again.
I get tired.
Oh yeah, he went into the accent. He lost me for a second.
Yeah.
Tired. So you know what that was about? That was the fluff pieces.
Oh. Yeah?
Yeah, I remember that conversation. I was like, Jack, you call us anytime, buddy.
I get tired.
All right, Cincinnati.
That's a W.
Yep. All right. Akron.
W.
Houston Christian.
W.
So that's the I was joking with TK yesterday because I said this 3 months ago and you guys laughed at me. I want the alternates or the all reds to be worn at Houston Christian and then for the fans to be outraged because they want it to be a curse, but it's really not.
You just always wear them against good teams?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's wear them against bad teams. See what happens.
And TK was like, well, then the fan base would be mad. And I was like, well, then they'd rather be right than get it right.
Yeah.
It's either a curse or it isn't.
Yeah.
Wear them against Houston Christian.
Yeah, curses don't need context. You know what I mean?
I'm going to speak that into existence.
Like, let's not pretend like the part of the reason the Red Sox didn't win a World Series for 86 years because they had bad owners for most of that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like bad.
And then I want them to wear the surrender whites against, like, Akron at home. Curse, the surrender whites. I don't know whose voice that is.
I don't either.
It's fine. I'm just kind of pissy, so it's whatever. But, all right, so Houston Christian is 3-0.
Yep.
Your 9-win Michigan Wolverine team rolls into Lincoln.
I've got that as a W.
All right, 4-0 start.
So here's where I'm going to start to give a little bit of context, okay?
Oh, I see.
Hi, Art.
There are a few games on the schedule that I think in a vacuum Nebraska wins that I think very easily could go the other way. So I just want to start there.
That's everybody.
I understand that, but Michigan's one of those. Michigan is
softy.
It's not softy.
Why you have to you don't want to just think that that's implied, or you don't trust our listening audience that they can.
I'm just identifying which of those I think those are. Which games I think those are.
What are you identifying with?
Which games I think those are.
Oh.
You good?
Leaning
your back hurting a little bit?
Left leaning. Sparty, Michigan State.
Win.
5-0 start for your Nebraska Corn Huskers. And I hate the term Corn Huskers. Your Nebraska Huskers.
When you say it all together, it does sound a little goofy when you just say Huskers, though.
Yeah.
Like we say the whole thing.
Not as bad as if I just say Corn Huskers.
No.
That's awful.
For me, it's just either Huskers or if you got Nebraska, sometimes we do the Corn
Huskers. Just
Nebraska.
Just Nebraska.
Just Nebraska.
Yes. That's it. For old DB.
No nicknames.
You're on the road with the Therathairs going to Maryland.
Therathair.
The Terrapins.
That's a bit of a leap. That's a win.
Okay.
W.
Wow, 6-0. Okay. On the road in Minneapolis.
I believe that's a win, but that is one of those games like Michigan.
So Nebraska's 7-0. All right.
So I will give some context to this when we're done.
Northwestern comes to the house.
That's a win.
8-0. Ho-ho! SC coming off a bye comes to the house.
Again, this falls in the Michigan-Minnesota category, but I've got it as a win.
All right, 9-0. Shocked. At Pasadena.
Again, same category, but I've got it as a win. I had UCLA losing this on their schedule. I have to.
At Penn State is Nebraska's first loss.
So this is a good time to talk about that. I do think it's a loss. So the reason I identified UCLA, USC, Minnesota, and Michigan is I know what I said for those schedules. I do think Nebraska loses one of those games.
So which one?
I don't know.
Okay.
My point is I don't think they're going 11-1. I do think they're going 10-2 because I'm going to have them beat Iowa.
Okay.
I do think they're going 10-2. When I look at this schedule, because if I had to say the one I think they're most likely to lose is probably at UCLA, with UCLA coming off of a bye in that spot. But there's a couple things that work against me there. Number one, in terms of how I think the season's going to play out. Number one, I don't think they're going to start 9-0.
So why'd you pick it?
Because each individual game in a vacuum, I think they win.
Should I go for that?
I mean, you can if you want to, but that's how I thought about it. I mean,
I can't go for that. Oh, no. Who sings that song, Shane?
Hall & Oates.
Just right on the money.
I want to be the black dude or the guy with the black hair and the cookie duster. Is that Daryl or John?
Is that Hall or Oates?
I'm not sure.
I don't want to be the other guy that looks like the Peter Cetera knockoff.
So in a vacuum, I think they win each individual of those games, but I don't think they're starting 9-0.
Why does it have to be so goddamn Avril Lavigne?
You're the one asking me the questions. I think about it how I think about it. I don't know what to tell you.
So in a vacuum, but the games, like team myopic, every coach would say play each game in a vacuum.
I understand that.
But it doesn't happen.
But I'm taking them individually, and I don't mind the sequencing. Like if UCLA was earlier in the season, because I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back at UCLA at Penn State. I don't.
Something mythical about back-to-backs?
I just don't think they're going to lose because they're coming off a bye from UCLA to Penn State. I don't think they're going to lose both of those games.
Okay.
Personally. But I do think they lose two. I don't know where the other one falls. It's Penn State and either, in my mind, UCLA, USC, Minnesota, or Michigan.
Don't know much.
But I think they're going 10-2 this year.
But I know I love you. Do you know how many teams won 8 or more conference games last year?
Just the 2.
3.
Oh, yeah. Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State.
Incorrect. Correct.
Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon, right? No, Ohio State was 7. Indiana, Penn State, Oregon.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I've got Nebraska at 7.
Do you know how many teams won 7 games in the conference last year?
Well, 4, because then you add in Ohio State, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Nebraska's going to be 4th. So 7's about right.
So they're above Michigan.
Yes, I have them above Michigan.
So it's Penn State, Oregon State, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Nebraska, Michigan, Illinois is your top 6.
Yep.
Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Nebraska, Michigan, Illinois.
Yep.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
That's my top 6.
10-2 Nebraska.
10-2 Nebraska. That's how I think it goes.
I'm not quite there.
All right.
But my rationale is a little different.
Okay.
I will be like Ozone from Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, and I will break it down for you. I can't. Have you ever seen me like P-Pop?
I've not.
I can't really break dance, but
I've seen you sing. I haven't seen you dance.
You've heard me sing.
Well, I've seen it too because you're right in front of me.
Idiot.
That's DB. I'm Ravi with Mike Sautter up next.
Yeah, it just feels like so long ago. In fact, I was thinking about last night. It's been over 3 months since we faced them. And I was thinking about how I felt that night. And I don't know how the players felt that night. I know you're excited to start the season, but I thought that night showed us at that time with the new collection, 3 new infielders, a lot of new people on the team, 10 new faces altogether, that we can compete, and we can compete with anybody in the country. And we've been marching towards that. We've stubbed our toes along the way, but like I've said all along, I'm not considering anything that we've done this year as a loss. I'm considering it as a learn, and that really comes because of our players and their attitude and their behavior and their want to be really good. So when they want that and they work for that, it's always a learn. It's not a loss.
Working for Noah today? Like
everything.
Yeah.
His slider was good again, and his fastball, he was able to locate that up, down, and in and out. And got some swings on the hands and forced some bad contacts. So it's been 4 or 5 outings in a row. He's been pretty dang good. So yeah.
But Jackson, he had a big game, including the home run.
Yeah, he's got a big swing, and we just talked to him about getting the barrel through the zone a little bit quicker and letting those arms get extended a little bit, and he put a good swing on a ball, and I was happy for him. Hit a couple big hits today. I think Schaefer had a couple hits too.
Did you guys feel more confident coming out of that first game, and especially as this game wore on, you guys kept adding on more and more?
Yeah, I don't. You're confident, yeah, but you don't feel safe ever, especially against that team. They can score a lot of runs in a hurry, and so we have a ton of respect for those guys and their bats, and we were just happy to have Noah on our side and throwing the ball like he did.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
We felt like we played down, not to our potential, and we all knew second game we're coming up.
When you go to your home run there in the second inning, did you feel like that gave a pretty big boost to your team coming out of that first game?
Yeah, felt good. I don't know, especially after a rough place, rough call, just to bounce back and get the team up. It feels great.
Talk about the team trying to win a championship for the first time in 20 years. What's that mean?
It means everything. We've been putting numbers on our weightlifting whiteboard days until the state championship. We knew we were coming. We knew the end goal, and we're ready to win it.
How do you get ready for Lincoln East? Obviously, it's a team you haven't seen, but are you familiar with them in any way?
Yeah, we played them last year. Rough game. We know what we need to do to win. We just need to execute, and we'll be ready for them.
Give me that cheddar, getting Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla. We are joined now by Mike Sautter of Hurrdat Sports and NEBPreps. What's up, Sautter?
Well, I haven't been shit on today yet, so that's good. Rest of the day's coming.
You want to give a little context there, or are you just going to leave it out there like that?
I got shit on yesterday by a bird.
You were talking to your neighbor, just minding your own business?
Yeah, I was getting the post-mow beer in on the front stoop, porch, whatever.
Oh, you're that dude, sit out in the front yard and
Gotta
have a
admire
beer
his
with your
work.
neighbor? Like, hey, I'm a good goddamn mower. Come on,
yeah,
admire my work.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is your neighbor older or younger?
He's older-ish than me.
Not as
about the same age, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
are you guys bonding over mowing lines or?
No, we were talking about state track actually.
Is he a big state track guy?
Yeah, big track guy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So track, it hasn't been in the sexy events, but track and field has been very good for youngins.
It's been competitive. Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, pretty good sophomore crew.
Yeah, it's been good, but there wasn't any big pops of stuff outside of Isaac Ackerman. But okay, can I finish my story though?
Yeah. Hey, sorry, man. Go ahead. Do your thing.
So I'm sitting there on the front porch, just sitting there, and when like a bug or a cicada or something lands on your shoulder or your ear or something, I feel like you just kind of whatever. And that was my immediate reaction. And my neighbor goes, dude, you just got shit on. And I was like, what? No way. I was kind of touched a little bit. I'm like, my hand.
Was it fecal matter to skin or did it hit clothing?
No, it hit my ear, right here, in my ear for those watching. And it landed, on my shoulder. And I was like, oh my God, mother. I was, cussing a lot. And
did it stink?
No, it was bird poop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know bird poop doesn't have a smell. My bad.
It was wet. It was disgusting. So,
Rome.
Yeah. So I just kind of took my shirt and I like wiped it off my ear. And he goes, dude, it's all over your back. I go, what? And I like look, and he goes, here, let me just flick it off. So he like flicks it off. And then I sat back down and was like, oh my God, like that's gross. And I like, was messing with it. And I was like, whatever. I'm finishing this beer. So I just sat there for a minute with bird shit on me.
Yep, that's the difference between me and you.
Probably
and
would have gone inside and changed the shirt.
Yeah,
maybe showered,
and it doesn't have anything to do with how much I like or dislike beer, but there's a 100% chance I'm not finishing the beer. I'm going to get cleaned up.
I did. I mean, I kind of
was it last year, or was the conversation that riveting?
No, we talked for I was just, I had did my yard maintenance. I'm not going to call it mowing because there's more involved than that, as you know. So I did my yard maintenance, and I was just, a little tired. It's been a long 2 weeks here. So I just wanted to take a moment to myself, or my neighbor, I guess, came over and talked. And so I just took the little moment. Now, I will say I did just slam that beer after I thought about it a little bit. I'm like, I got to take a shower. This is gross.
This dude, I said, hey, did it smell? No, it was bird bleep. As if that is the separator of why it can't smell.
You can't say poop.
I can say poop. Poop is fine. I definitely don't say the S word though.
Shit.
Yeah. Not in my normal go along to get along nature. I have a question though, Jerome. Remember,
okay, this will be good.
We were was it districts? No, it was Metro. And we contemplated whether Ike had another foot and a half in him. Right?
Yeah.
We were like,
because he was just right at about 18 inches shy of the
he was like
all-class,
65.7 or something like that.
and he needed to
65.6.
get to 66.11.
And I was like, does he have another foot and a half in him? And we kind of joked, and I was like, maybe he's sandbagging, or I joked
like
about adrenaline.
It seemed like a lot,
but it did seem like a lot this late in the season.
But he closed about a foot of it at districts,
and then he knocked it out on his first throw at state. Like, was he ramping up to this?
I think. Well, I will say this: like a lot of kids need, credit their coaches and stuff. But like in this case, like his dad's his coach and has been his whole life.
They look thick as thieves.
Yeah, and they are, and it's great. Like it's an awesome story because he also coached tight ends and D-line or one of those two at Central, right? Football. So, yeah, I didn't. So I think a lot of credit goes there, and I think he just kind of kept he peaked at the right spot. He just right time. He just kept getting better and better and better, and then boom. First throw is a little impressive though. You would think that maybe it'd be on 2 or 3 or in the finals or something.
But right just gate though.
Yeah, right out of the gate, just end it, and then the pressure's off a little bit more too, right? So you're just kind of do your deal, and it's pretty cool to see him do that, because that was one that you just thought was probably not going to happen. I mean, you're almost throwing it out of.
You're almost half a century that record stood.
Yeah, it's like 40 years. 80.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
And you're throwing it you're almost throwing it out of the shot pit.
Yeah, he was almost out of real estate.
Yeah, he almost threw it to the fence. It almost. I mean, now we're feet away from
he makes it look so easy.
So that's what I was gonna say. With that slide step, it just looks so casual.
Yeah, he just his expression never
got
changes.
Turns and flips it out there, and there we go.
I mean, that is the same guy that I saw scoop up 2 bad snaps off the turf and kick it with the other foot, though. So I know he's a good athlete.
He did do that. He was their punter?
Yeah,
he's their punter, tight end, and defensive end.
I definitely know he's a good athlete. So How about Patillo? Patillo. Patillo?
Love.
I
think
get
sophomore from Bell West.
I get the Padilla, Patillo. Like I know Jacob likes Padilla, so I don't want to butcher the young lady's name. But just a sophomore, and you talk about making it look easy.
Well, she was someone that, like, even in like grade school and middle school, she was like gonna be the person, right? I was gonna say be the man, but that would be weird. So she was always gonna kind of just be that. And there was even thought where last year as a freshman, like she might not even go out for track at the school and just focus on like USA track stuff. So I mean, that's how good she is. It's extremely impressive what she did even last year and this year. So I would imagine the next 2 years she'll get a lot of run, like, and deservedly so.
More impressive what she's doing or our milers.
Probably the milers at this point. Because those like 4 minutes in a 1600 is ridiculous for high school. That's insane. Like it's crazy. And that was when it's kind of a dud yesterday when neither one of them kind of popped and broke that. But the backstretch the wind was so bad on that backstretch.
It was brutal.
Yeah, it was a little tough. So, but I would like Juan at Fremont, right? We're talking about he might be an Olympian. Like that dude. And when's the last time we had an Olympian like runner from Nebraska?
Didn't Emily Sisson get close?
What'd you say?
Didn't Emily Sisson get close?
She was close.
Yeah. Like, so it's been maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm not a track historian, but
it's rare.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's probably never been a thing.
All right. So I'm rocking Omaha because they've got a big one today in the semis in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
The Mustang honk over here is rolling with Millard North. Is East just too much of a juggernaut, or how are we thinking here? Because I couldn't be happier. Ravi has no idea on the relationship between Bob and Miller's head coach, and how much I think he's been through.
Yeah, I didn't know until yesterday.
Together in the baseball community, from the young guys on up, from pitching communities to hitting communities. Like Bob has kind of seen and done it all, and I get it. It was a kind of a risky hire, but he turned this thing around in a hurry.
Yeah, year one making state, right? Upsetting. Who they upset to make it last year? I forget.
Look at Will on it with Alice Smith.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I saw that.
All right, Will. Will's pretty.
Yeah. So baseball is your. Bob was at Millard West for a while, right? Runs JUCO route stuff too. Like that's his thing. So big baseball guy.
And he gets all my baseball. He's probably the reason why I have so many baseball hats. So he sends me 2 a year. Every year, yeah.
You never wear a hat.
I know, but they're pretty. It used to be so probably like this was like pre-COVID maybe or COVID. For a while, a baseball hat was my picture.
Your profile picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Year one, making it to state, upset through districts to make it to state. Fall short, 0-2, 2 in Q last year, and then this year to make the final. When I would say no one expected them to do that outside of their own, walls. I think it's pretty impressive what he's done there in 2 years. I think it's really, really impressive. So
I think it's cool that kind of the baseball community's kind of gotten outside the box with kind of boxing in these coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's obviously a little different background. I think Damon Day over at Scott took some stones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Little unconventional with that. I kind of like that. With what's happened at baseball.
Yeah, and you have I will never forget standing there for 3.5 hours in one locked in position for the Scott Gretna East 15 inning game the other night, though. So that was fun.
Especially to see nothing cross the plate. It's like
it wasn't like it was 8-8 in the 14th inning. It was 2-2.
Like playoff hockey where you felt like the next goal wins it.
Yeah. It wasn't very much. It wasn't my favorite thing to do ever. I'll say that. It was kind of neat though. I will say it was neat because like kids were just competing. Like, listen to this. So Dylan Van Dyke, who, by the way, when we talk about athlete of the year, that guy probably needs to be very squarely in the conversation.
He'll be in the conversation.
Like, he's at least a finalist, if not win it. If you think about it.
He could be a multi-sport state champ.
He was based on basketball and football.
So now we could get a.
No, they lost to Gretna East.
That's right. Yeah. We can't get 3. That's right.
But he made one game away from. That's pretty impressive. And he was like the guy, obviously, on the football team. And he started for their basketball team. And by the way, he threw 5 shutout.
Tell that to Quinn or Kaliga though about the football thing.
No, they weren't throwing it. Someone had to throw him the ball, right?
But you see that third quarter against Bennington, little twin bro got a lot of receptions. He went to the security blanket.
Yes. But Dylan Van Dyke threw 5 shutout innings the other day in relief, like from the 8th through the 13th inning, and threw 82 pitches. And the dude isn't throwing like gas, right? Like we're just out there balling. Like, so I thought that performance was pretty impressive. And Gretna East resolved to win 2 against a really good Scott team and face their 2 best pitchers in a day was pretty impressive. But
can I stay on the Gretna East thing for a second and talk soccer?
Yeah.
We don't really have a comp to what they did, right? With going from almost an entire team going from one school to another, right. Keeping your same coach, basically winning 4 state titles. Like it doesn't seem right, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, that was something that like last year after they won it, Gretna East girls soccer, when they won it, was like, oh my gosh, they first year school and they win a state championship. I'm like, yeah, but like
they just won 2 together previously.
Yeah, I'm like it's not the same thing, right?
How did that transition? You and I think talked about it a little off air a couple of times. How did the known transition go over between the schools? Because it was kind of it was known like, hey, he's going here, they're going here. Like, was it just kind of accepted?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. They knew before, like when Gretna East, split, they knew like that Chase was going, and then they knew like all them other people were going, or like a lot of the players were going to be at East. I think it's just the way the borders were drawn. That's just kind of how it worked out. And I guess, I don't know, like if you're a coach, wouldn't you want to go in the brand new school, right? Like
where are we going to slot Sonora?
She's probably up there somewhere. Right? I mean, she did score the most goals in a season in history last year. Not this year, last year. She's pretty prolific, I would say. Gretna East, that senior class, what was it, 60-1?
Yeah.
In 4 years, and 4 state titles. It's pretty good. Was it 60? It was right around 60. I don't know.
I just know the one loss.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 58-1 before the semis. I think it's right at 60. Close. It's give or take 1 or 2 on the other side of that number. Which is impressive.
It's pretty cool too that some of these young people are so unassuming, right? Ike's really unassuming, and Snore, her interview, but we're just getting, I think, better. But I don't know about I'm just talking about the poise behind the mic and the behaviors behind like the players. It's kind of cool.
Well, I think it's kind of more of like it's expected now. Like I think they expect to be like if you're on that level, you expect to be interviewed and talked about and those sort of things.
Maybe for Sonora, but not necessarily Ike. I think Ike is clearly is how they both were raised, but one is much more used to the limelight than the other. Because what I would have asked, and why won't you guys ask him how he's been able to do this with a glide step? Like that's the $64,000 question, and I don't know if my sister was a thrower, so that's why I pay attention. But how he did it, I think, is incredible. We just assume like, oh man, this guy. No, like his technique, and he kind of got into it with Lauren on the news about like just the practice and the repetitions. But his technique is incredible.
Yeah, I am not a track throwing aficionado would be the word. And I also wasn't there the other day. I was at baseball, so I didn't have a chance to ask him those questions.
What time are you heading over today?
Oh, hearing about whenever you guys get done talking to me.
Yeah, going early.
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right? I ain't got nothing else to do.
Jeez.
Just watch out for those birds.
Shane, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Don't be a bully.
Don't matter to me.
I do kind of I like getting there a little early, right? And just kind of taking in the landscape, the scene. Class C game should be good though.
I'm getting anybody who is somebody to go that is a high schooler to go to see the Colonels and the Clippers.
Yeah, you're gonna have your Colonels hat on or shirt on or what are we doing here?
So I have a sweatshirt, but it doesn't have a hood, so I don't wear it, and I don't have a hat. So I'm just gonna have to. I don't know. I can't do too much because Dallas will be mad at me that I'm playing favorites. But I'm significantly closer to.
That's like your best friend.
It is actually, yeah, it is.
So who cares? Do what you want. It's like your nephew.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
and everybody loves everybody loves Aiden too. So I think a lot of the guys are gonna come on.
I was gonna say, F them. Do what you want.
Dallas is my dude.
No, yeah. Hey, let me tell you something.
I played with Twig. Verz has Malcolm Roots. There's a florist in town.
Blah 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 blah.
It's a really dumb story, but there's a florist in town who I always go to for my flowers, and she knows way more about me than I do. And her grandson plays for Malcolm, so I feel like I was cheering for him to make it to the finals.
Well, this is the Class C baseball game is the game that that's the game that everyone expected it to be. Like this is the game, right? Like when I went to their game against each other, that Central City won at Malcolm was a month or two. I don't know. Sometime it was a month ago or something. Like neither one of them pitched their top two pitchers on purpose because of the anticipation for that this matchup was going to be the matchup. So it is, and it's here, and it's cool because they're the two best teams and have been in Class C all year. And hopefully it's a good game. It's like,
what do you think happens in B?
Oh man, anybody got a pitcher left?
It's definitely called arms.
It could be a new pitcher every inning. Like for both teams, there could just be like
that. I do.
That's why I wish the weather was a little better.
Warm.
Arms on short rest. Yeah. I don't enjoy the cold weather.
Yeah. It kind of sucks when you've got like the championship game ends up feeling like a Tuesday college game where it just pitching staff wise where you kind of
it is like a gauntlet
though
for state base. It's hard.
No, it is. It's
like hard.
Yeah.
Well, don't lose. Don't.
He said, "Don't lose.
Don't lose your first game." Then you could be like Lincoln East and be like, "Hey, we got our guy throwing today."
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, Millard North.
You and Tim Verghese for winning is easy.
I'm not saying winning is easy.
Just like, hey man, just win your games. I don't know. It's not that easy. But I get it. I get it.
But okay, Miller North goes into Wednesday undefeated, and then they kind of lay an egg, don't hit at all against Elkhorn South. So that forces them to play another game in which they handle Elkhorn South and make it.
They dropped the crooked number, right? It was 10.
Yeah, 8 in the second one. 8-0.
Yeah. So don't lose the first one, then you have more pitching line.
Hey, send a memo over to your guys. Sautter said, "Hey,
don't lose the
No,
first.
no. Don't do that, because that's not what I was saying.
It's literally what you just
I'm
said.
texting Bob right now.
No, I will text him too, and I'm gonna see him. No, don't say. See, this is where I get annoying to people.
Because they repeat the exact thing you said to other people?
No, because now it's like Sautter said that you guys were going to lose. That's not what I said.
No, you said you shouldn't lose the first one.
Yeah. And every coach would probably agree, right?
I'm just going to let them know. I'm just going to relay what you said.
I just love how coaches use what I say as for motivation for their teams, like they need that.
I'm with you, Sautter. You get a bad rap.
Say what you got to say.
Say what you want to say.
I did not know that Jim in Minnesota was not a fan. Why did you send me?
No, we had a good conversation.
He's actually he's a normal. He's a regular good guy.
No, we sent DMs back and forth.
What was his beef?
Just the way I discuss. So to be very clear here, I'll air this all out. Okay. To be very clear, not private conversations, but so I actually like Matt Rule. I like Nebraska. I think they got the right person for the job.
It makes sense what Jim might have been mad at because he loves Nebraska.
Yeah, I actually wish Nebraska would win every single game because everybody's mood in this state is much better when they do. So, the teams I cover, which Nebraska football is not my, beat, but if I'm going to cover, let's say Nebraska basketball is my main beat, Omaha basketball, Creighton basketball, all the basketball. If I'm covering that team, guess what? It makes my job a lot easier when those teams win. So I would like them to win. And Nebraska football, same thing. I watch the games. There are times where I'm like, oh man, why didn't hit the couch for a second? Not like the New York Jets. The New York Jets, I'm screaming and throwing stuff. So that's way different. But I want Nebraska to be successful. Why wouldn't I? So part of my frustration is not with the Nebraska staff. It is how kids in Nebraska are covered by people that don't watch them
if they don't go to Nebraska.
Actually play games.
I understand.
Okay. Or spend the time to go to practice, but they are the experts in people's minds when they don't live here, don't watch them, maybe go to a game a year, all of those things. So that's my frustration. When I say something to the effect of, well, Nebraska didn't offer, so they're not good enough, that I've said throughout the years, that is not a shot at a coaching staff or anything else. So read between the lines if you want there. That's what I mean by that. So be very transparent there. That's what that is. So it's fun. It's cool. People can not like me and it can be okay. I'm great. I live my life. I work as much as anyone, if not more sometimes. I get frustrated at times.
I'm not going to let you step on your Richard. I'm going to cut you off.
No, I fucking show up.
All right, that's Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports.
No, I just my daughters have their last day of school today, and
are they out early?
I think noon. I don't know. I'm going to be working.
How do you not know?
I think it's noon.
Opening the door when they walk. Your wife's working, isn't she?
She took the day off for
Oh, that's why you don't have any responsibilities.
I gotta go to work today. I gotta work all day. I gotta be at baseball all day. If game's at noon, if they get out at noon, can I be in 2 places at one time? Sometimes people would like me to be Superman, but it's pretty hard.
Oh my god!
And it's like, bro, just saying,
Jerome.
Hey, I'm gonna give a parting shot.
If I see you and I don't speak to you, you know it has a lot to do with this segment. But carry on, my wayward son.
What did I do?
Carry on. What were you going to say?
Okay.
What was your
part? This morning you do the like last day school picture on the front step stuff because that's what women like to do. And
Rico too, but I
wait, Rico did that too?
Yeah, Rico tweeted out a picture of her first and last day of kindergarten.
Sorry, Rico likes his kids. I don't know what to tell you.
I do too. You're not seeing that.
I should just let him step all in it, shouldn't I?
So
thoughts on Rico's tweet? No,
it's fine. Like, do you, bro? Do you? Just that ain't for me.
Sorry,
my youngest daughter, who finishes kindergarten today, last day of kindergarten is today.
Yeah.
She may or may not have taken a couple steps on the freshly cut lawn, and we had to have a conversation this morning about.
That's a good dad.
About how you don't let's stay off the lawn because we don't want to walk on the lawn.
Jerome,
why is the grass there?
Walt Kowalski with his own kids.
Why is the grass there?
In the front, it's there to look nice. In the back, run around all day.
Jerome, go give yourself a hug.
Hey,
I would tell you to touch the grass, but I don't want you to mess up the lines.
I binged those up real quick. I can't help it that my yard right now, front in particular, looks like I went to go see the barber and not the one at Master Cuts to line up my beard.
All right, buddy. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Wow.
I couldn't care less about his lawn.
And it's like, bro,
I don't understand.
Here we go.
Like, at what point is it okay to walk on the lawn after it's been mowed? Like, what time frame? Is it all of a sudden like, oh, it's fine now? Or is it just you can never walk on the front grass?
My favorite part of the episode is because I know you're seldom riding with that guy. So anytime you get a chance to go in, just the level of passive aggressiveness is at an all-time high.
Well, you just gotta. He's a coworker. I'm not gonna say anything.
And he was gonna get your guy. You should have.
No, I mean
Rico can defend himself.
I should have asked for an apology about the West Side Prep soccer thing, and then he's
Oh, when he said prep is clearly the fair.
And I'm like, hey, can we talk about maybe some? No, prep is clearly the fair. Okay, cool, bud. How'd that go for prep? How'd it go? We're talking about Miller North, Lincoln East. Lincoln East. Lincoln East. You didn't even say anything. It's Lincoln East. Lincoln East, Oh, if you want to have better pitchers, you just won the game. All right, Mike. We'll see what happens.
Don't matter to me.
We'll see what happens tonight. It's fine. We'll see what happens tonight. Also, sorry, Rico likes his kids more than you do. That's fine.
Thank you, dear baby Jesus.
It's like, gonna hate on a guy because he likes his kids? I don't like other people's kids, but that's fine. They're not mine. I like my dogs more than I like,
I'm not okay.
I'm not even gonna get.
No,
not even gonna get any other stuff.
By.
There's some other stuff in there. I'm just not gonna.
Ken sending Sautter some gummies. Hit Vrzal up. He got you.
You're gonna yell at a 5-year-old for walking on your grass? What's the point of the grass, man?
Shane,
can I say
I just got a full bag.
Hey, go ahead. Say whatever you want.
You know how some people get super annoyed, like nobody cares about your fantasy team?
Yeah.
You know what people care about less than your fantasy team? Your lawn. No one cares. No one.
Got to keep watering the bamboo.
Oh.
Like, I'm glad you have a hobby. That's cool. That's fine.
Oh, Will, he's been like that since I walked in the door.
No one cares about someone else's lawn. Not a soul. I've never met a single person in my life that's like, oh, man, I was talking to my buddy the other day, and we were talking about the lawns, and it was the best. Best conversation ever. He was telling me about his seeding techniques.
I don't know. QB1 Ace seems to agree with Mike.
Listen, Kyle, that's fine that you work for a lawn care company. People care about their own lawns.
Oh, does he? Man, come on, KB, you holding out on me?
Yeah, we might need to have a little conversation because I don't care about my lawn that much, but I do have to have people take care of it, or I have to take care of it myself. But if you want to,
where was he during the dandelion talk?
But here's my point: is people call you Kyle or people like you because they care about their own lawn, not because they want to hear you talk about your lawn. You know what I mean? It's a little different.
Hey. Sautter said, hey, man, I got plenty. Damn.
What we got here? Oh, jeez.
Okay, Jerome.
I don't think he's using them right. You take those orally.
Shane, I need some music. Oh,
that's not a suppository situation.
This is certainly not going to get any easier with our next guest.
So, too much bird shit?
Yeah, I didn't understand that, but
why would you just sit there? What's wrong with you?
Maybe the beer was extra cold. I don't know. Or the conversation was extra riveting.
If anything poops on me, I'm getting out of that situation immediately. Immediately.
It's like
I don't care what I'm drinking.
And I was like, what the?
I don't care what it hit his ear, man. I don't care what I'm drinking or who I'm talking to. I'm out. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Got to get ready for Friday. I mean, we have players who expect to win. I'm so blessed to be their coach. They work so hard to be successful in situations like this. So we're going to enjoy it for about 30 minutes and get ready for whoever comes out on top on Friday.
How much of a difference maker is your team's focus, just especially through this one and then heading into Friday?
We just have great player leadership. I've said that all year long. I mean, Jeter Wordley's the best catcher and the best leader I've ever been around. He sets the tone for us from the jump. But we're loaded with really, really good kids who fully buy in and want to win so bad. So we'll do our best as a coaching staff to get them ready for Friday because it'll be a dogfight, and we'll do our best to see how well we can play.
It meant a lot. That's a situation that I've envisioned myself in many times, and it felt great.
How do you guys stay motivated? I mean, it's been 3 years, but it has to feel like job's still not finished, right?
Yeah, definitely. Job's still not finished, and honestly, we just work all year to play our best baseball in May and to play our best baseball for the state championship, and that's where we want to be. Never envisioned it any other way. So.
You're playing hard the whole way through. You had that bloop single, you turned into a double. What's the mindset just knowing that the job's not done midway through a game?
Just keep going, keep the pressure on. In the state tournament, you can't let up a little bit. Every team is good. And if you give just a little bit of leeway, then, they can come and get you. So just staying down and keeping the gas on the foot on the pedal. So.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the meet, as Juan Gonzalez of Fremont finishes out his career the right way, winning the all-class gold, the Class A championship, and you did it in plenty of events over the past 2 days. Just walk me through that last 100 meters of the mile. You're finishing out your Fremont career. Is that kind of what you expected it to be, or what did you take in there in that moment?
I mean, obviously I wanted to come out here and win my last race of my high school career here in Nebraska, but it definitely got a little bit more close than I thought. Connor Gross from Westside definitely closed that gap on me and definitely made it interesting last 400 race. But coming down that stretch and the loud crowd at Burke is something that no one really gets to experience. I mean, if you compare this to other state meets, Nebraska definitely outdoes so many states, and it's a special place to run track. So, coming down that home stretch and feeling the crowd and emotions is so special.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now let's find out what Matt Vrzal is better at. Telling stories or making pizza.
Matt.
Matt's an exceptional young man.
Matt Vrzal.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Matt, he's a tremendous athlete.
Matt Vrzal.
Come on, Matt, I'm with you.
Like Matt Vrzal, you're one of the sexiest people in the world, but you're not one of the most beautiful. How does that happen?
Here is Matt Vrzal.
All right, Matt, thank you very much.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Matt Vrzal, former Husker, owner of Piezon's. What's up, Verz?
What's up, fuckers?
Matty, how we doing today, buddy?
We are good, Damon.
How's nephew feeling?
I don't know. I think he should play today, but I don't know. We'll see.
How's the weight?
We got too much going on in Piezonsville to be worried about that. I went down to the game on whatever night that other game was, which feel bad for little buddy from Michigan State, but
right.
Maybe don't catch the ball this way.
I see you guys. I didn't have any problems with the style. The execution sucked, but he couldn't two-hand that thing. Buddy. Go ahead and say it, buddy.
The ball hit here. But here and shot out.
I'm not excusing that.
Is that a gladiator thing? Did they teach you that in gladiators? Like cool guy catch? Like, oh, catch like this.
How do you even remember?
When you started to ruin youth sports back in the day?
How do you even remember that?
I blame because we beat you, and I blame you. I blame you for all of this, Damon. For all these travel teams, for all this stuff.
Doesn't have anything to do with me.
Bricks in Omaha had to be a gladiator team. We're better than everybody, our little town team. We're going to show you. You couldn't just have an all-star team, go play 2 more games. Now we're dealing with this 70-game, 8-year-old season. Your fault.
Wow.
That was actually Rezak. It was your boy Rezak. He was the first one. Let's be honest. let's be honest, high school DJ probably created gladiator baseball. He's like, I could probably monetize this. We could make a bunch of money.
Wow.
I should probably do that.
Everyone's catching strays today.
You missed a nice little knockdown, passive aggressive drag out between Ravi and Sautter. So
nice. What do we get? I love those.
I'll take Ravi for the slight win. Although
Sautter, you don't like Sautter though, so that's fine.
I don't, or Ravi doesn't.
I don't think this show does. I think you guys are kind of mean to Mike when he comes on.
Well, Ravi is exceptionally mean to Sautter.
Well,
I'm not mean to Sautter.
He's earned it.
Sauter's my dude.
He's earned it.
Right.
He doesn't get anything he doesn't deserve.
What happened? You got to tell me what happened. You can't just leave me out here hanging in the lurch.
So it started a while back, but last week I asked about state soccer because Westside and Prep were playing. I go, hey, kind of like, what does Westside need to do? And he just wouldn't even entertain the idea that Prep could lose the game. And of course, Prep lost. Ooh. So I felt like I was owed an apology there. Didn't get one.
Well, he kept saying, Ravi asked a follow-up.
I did.
He asked a question, and Sautter goes, well, Prep is clearly the favorite. And Ravi asked a follow-up, and Sautter repeated the same answer.
Which was a little jerkish, I thought. Especially now that I've got receipts and I could be like, clearly the favorite. Oh, okay. Just didn't want to entertain anything else. All right, Mike.
Kind of like, hey, Matt, can I use this shelf? Which space did I say you could use? Matt, is this shelf good? Is that the shelf that I said that you could, like, stuff like
the first answer is correct. It ain't going to change.
But in this case, his first answer was not correct.
No, that's his first opinion.
Well, sure.
Mine was a statement of fact.
Well, yes, you have control over that, though. He didn't have control.
This is the corner where you are out of my way. That's your corner.
That was the third answer too, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I fix something here real quick that's stuck with me? Because you ended up getting me some gloves, and that was cool. And I got the warm-up drink. That was cool. But the whole not moving the dolly thing out of the way of the door and closing the thing on the trash bin is kind of bugging me. I felt like that was unnecessary.
What?
You asked me if I'd move the dolly out of the way of the door, and I was like, I didn't. Like, why would I move that? I felt like you put that there, and you go, well, that was to get the stuff for you to put on the shelf. And I was like, well, how would I have known that? The same as I wouldn't have known to close the door on the trash.
Deductive logic.
Okay, all right. I shouldn't have even asked. That's fine.
When it was closed. So, okay, what Damon's talking about is our big trash receptacle outside. That is just a breeding ground for varmint. So the more you close that, the more likely the varmint are to stay inside. So DB had to throw some away, just kick that baby open, born in the barn. Just didn't even go back and close the little door, so I don't have to deal with flies.
It was already open, though, was my point. That's all.
Allegedly. The video camera says different, but go ahead.
That's not true. That's not true.
Did you check the tape verse?
I did. Hey, so you got the Bison and the Clippers today?
Yes. How about that? That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. You don't know about the clip joint, baby.
So I have yet, so full disclosure, I have yet to see Central City beat Malcolm. So I like odds are not in my favor. I like both.
Both undefeated. They played two. Is it got to be a double elimination or just one loss?
I don't believe either team has lost.
So do they play 2 out of 3 if need be?
No, I think it's winner take all.
Okay.
But don't quote me. But
me neither.
Both teams are coming through both things.
Winner side.
Yeah.
Are you feeling good? You feeling good enough to bet?
No. No.
I'll give you one run.
No, Malcolm is the favorite.
I know. I'll give you one run.
For a push? Give me 1.5 for something, because otherwise you're just playing a money line.
Okay, we'll just play a money line. You can set the line.
No, I want the run. I want 1.5.
Unlike you, when we gamble and you don't want to give up things, I will give you 1.5.
Okay. So maybe like vacuuming again for a protein bowl, or what are we doing?
Straight cash, homie. I like your money. Your money's my favorite money.
By the way,
Yes.
you know what this idiot did the other day? Zoe wanted a pizza. Verz,
It's going on the board.
it's childish.
No reason for that.
Zoe wanted a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, I stopped. I'm like, Maddie, I was right up the street. Just want to get Zoe something to eat. Can Zoe get a pizza? He's like, sure. So in the meantime, I was sitting there waiting. I was on the very corner of the bar. He was making fun of me because I wasn't being very social. But I was just trying to get in and out. I just been.
No, you're being social. You did good. I told you I was proud of you.
So
Continue.
He brings the pizza over,
Mhm.
and he dropped it off. He went to go work. So the young lady that was kind of helping me out, I tried to give her some money, and she says, no, I can't take that. And I said, no, here, take it. She's like, no, I can't take that. So Maddie must have saw it out of the corner of his eye. And he comes over to the young lady and he goes, always take his money. So she took it. And he looked at me and he goes, no need. I bought Zoe's pizza.
But Peyton said thank you for the tip.
Like, who does that?
That's a very generous tip of you.
That's like the most Verz story ever, right? Because he does like the thing that you think is mean, but he actually did the nice thing on the back end.
And didn't tell me till after he told somebody, always take his money.
Like that might be the most quintessential Verz story I've ever heard. It's like all encompassing.
You sensitive folks, I like messing with you.
Yeah. But the whole freezer debacle, that was cute.
Can I get any action on the Lincoln East Miller North game, Verz?
Ooh. How much pitching you guys got left?
Not a ton.
Not a ton, but according to Sautter, you should
Which is another thing he's mad at Sautter about.
You should give me about 9.5 runs on this one, if according to Sautter. So
I'll give you 1 3/4.
Wait.
I'll give you 1 3/4 runs.
Man, Lincoln East is good, man.
I feel like I should get 2.5.
2.
I wouldn't take it.
If you don't believe in Miller North, that's fine. If you don't believe in your alma mater, that's okay.
2.5. The difference between 2 and 2.5 is 2 is a push instead of a win, right?
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be a push.
Wow.
I need 2.5.
That's a pretty good. Miller North is good.
Yeah. I need my 2.5 though.
I'm gonna give you 2.
But East is rested.
What's the bet? What's the number?
We haven't even figured out.
I'm saying if I take the 2, what's the number?
How froggy you feeling, Holmes?
At 2, less.
Casino is open. You tell me whatever number you need.
Wait, can we lock me in first?
You're in.
1.5. I'm getting 1.5 for $20. Fair?
Yeah, I guess. I remember when I gambled in junior high. Take your wallet out.
Incredible.
Blow the dust off it. Pull one of them big ones out.
Wow.
They probably got you on a summer stipend at Westside. You probably got extra money coming in.
No, they don't actually.
7-on-7 stipend. Look what they do. Did you see him laugh? They do. I saw that laugh.
They don't. You get more obnoxious by the minute. I don't know how you can top yourself. You do it every week and every minute.
I'm just in it. I like doing this when there's no football or like you're not really like, let's be honest. I think there was an NBA fan that I saw on the TikTok that phrased it the best. He said, I'm now officially switched over to watching hockey because they play like they care. He said basketball playoffs is like a bunch of rich dudes that are just playing pickup. I was like, outside of Indiana, and that's pretty true. Like I'm not
stand for the NBA hate either because I like the NBA and I do think they play hard now. So how about that?
How about that? Catch me outside then.
That's Shane's favorite.
Hey, has your TikTok algorithm got you onto these AI generated baby things?
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
So they're apparently
Hilarious.
mad at me for sending them all over the place. So I'm gonna keep
Who
all
is?
the baby AIs I have to myself.
Send them to me.
The Cash Me Outside baby is
Oh.
maybe the funniest one.
No,
You'd
have
have
you
to
seen
send-
the have you seen the NBA? Charles, Shaq, and Kenny.
Yeah, I think you said that one to me.
Oh
Good
yeah,
one.
that's probably my favorite.
I like my
I would
favorite
tell
one.
you, I would tell you to send them to me, but then you'd have to text me. So just don't worry about that. I'll just find them on my own. You'd have to respond to communications.
My favorite one.
I gave you to the minute on Saturday morning. Hey man, I'll be there in 6 minutes.
Then you texted me, hey, guys eating at Piezon's needs some bacon. I'm like, when did I become a service station here? Like I am not a locker.
So Johnny the Pig was in there eating, and I wanted him to try some of the bacon. So if you were there, I was like, hey, can you just grab him a package of bacon? I don't understand why that's so hard for you. Like sometimes
I got
you're the
other shit
go-between,
going
I'm
on,
not
bud.
there. Okay, man. That's fine. It's fine.
If you want to distribute your bacon, Damon, you know you should distribute your own bacon.
Did I not explain that I was at a parents' meeting?
Yeah. Those get over, or is it an all-nighter? Did you guys have a sleepover? Team bonding?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. That's
Ah, you can't be this frustrated already.
No, it was a long morning.
Oh, did you? What happened?
Do you
You wanna
not
talk
know
it out?
No, do you not know who I work with? It's always hard. Every day.
I think Verge thinks I'm easy to get along with.
I don't agree with that.
Maybe.
one
I don't
bit.
know.
Oh, I don't. But
I'm very personable when I come in.
I do have a wager though, Maddie. I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I was listening to ESPN on the way in Thursday or Friday. Who finishes last in your NFL division?
probably the Bears because Caleb Williams is a quarterback.
Could you see them finishing last with 9 wins?
Yeah, because Caleb Williams is the quarterback.
That's a lot to be in last place.
Oh yeah, I think that division is nasty.
It doesn't sound right. 9 and 8
black and blue.
last place.
Yeah, I don't know how the math works out on the rest of the schedules, but I mean they could be a good team and be in last for sure.
I guess it's
My only other thought could be with the same record, like a really good record, and you're pretty high on the dude. I am not as high on the dude as you are, but Minnesota like falling off with JJ.
Oh, you talking about high on KOC or McCarthy?
No, McCarthy.
Yeah,
I'm a KOC guy. Like I like how he coaches,
Mhm.
but I'm not a. I think JJ is a game manager. I think he's kind of going to go the way of the Alabama quarterback.
Huh? So
Like
I
the
can't.
talent around you is so good that you just look good.
All right, so it's no fun getting a wager because you think they actually could finish it. I don't.
Oh,
I don't think 9 wins gets you last place in that division.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I could see maybe 7.
I'll say it's not going to be a bad record. Like they're not going to be bad. Whoever finishes last, but it probably is.
I mean, on paper, is Green Bay that much better than Chicago?
So I kind of thought Green Bay. I don't love Green Bay.
They're not. I don't know. I can't get you to take that bet.
No.
No, he's. I mean,
Caleb Williams is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Fudge. All right, well, that's no fun then.
Like Caleb Williams is the quarterback.
I again, nothing would make me happier than for him to be good.
Yeah, you know why he's going to be good? The 3 guys in the middle.
Because you're paying
because of him.
$90 million to your 2 guards. That's why.
Deal. Say less. Hey, sign me up.
You see Tooney's his new deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an
Guess what?
IOL.
When you get secure in there, a lot easier to run it. A lot easier to throw it to the tight end. Ooh, they picked the wrong one, but we'll talk about that another day.
By the way,
in the middle makes it easy, DB.
if you were betting $20 in middle school, we need to have a talk with Nancy.
Nance was telling me who to bet.
She probably was.
Gives you all that innocent, oh, I'm just a mom.
Yeah.
Hammer the Big Red. Find that kid who's dad from Iowa State. Hammer the Big Red. Okay.
All right. Well, I wish you the best tonight. I know you'll have it on at your place, right? How are you not gonna?
We got buddy. It's graduation season. I got graduation parties to deliver to and make brief appearances at.
Yeah, I was happy to see you on Saturday morning so early because you did have family graduation. That was impressive. Your eyes didn't look great, but you were somewhat easier to work with. Certainly not easy.
You like to make things difficult, though.
No, you fixed the coolers and stuff. No,
I'm like, hey, you know where your corner is.
Yeah.
Put your stuff in the corner. Should be done. Easy. We're having discussions. We got hands moving.
It's not exactly how it went. I could barely move my hands.
Yeah, you're better than that, too. Stop being so soft. It wasn't that cold in there. It was on a defrost.
So what's the temp on a defrost?
Go ahead, Matt.
0.
What did it started at 19?
That was the end. You're on the back side of the defrost. Then she drops down. But see, you can't trust that little reader. There's another thermostat inside.
What's the standard? What's it supposed to be at?
We just keep ours like -4.
Well, it's fine in there, DD. You want some gloves? Here's some translucent rubber ones. Knock yourself out.
Gave you 2 sets.
And you told the Hispanic guy to cuss at me, and
you can double wrap that.
That was cute too.
We're just having some fun.
Yeah, you talked over that story too. He's calling me a pinche.
Okay.
I can't understand.
From Miguel, my hombre that works in the morning. Damon was standing there, and we were gonna have a little fun. I know Damon knows Spanish. So, hey, amigo, pinche puto. And he kind of looked, and Damon got big mad. He's like, you want to tell this dumbass that I know Spanish? He didn't say dumbass. I know Spanish too, and PJ, and I was like, why are you so mad? We're just having some fun. If you can't tell that Piezons was created with a locker room environment where we are going to give anybody that comes in the back a hard time, then you don't know me at all.
I always like how you make me out to be the angry black guy. It wasn't even that serious.
Hey, Draymond, calm down. Like, that was the dumbest statement in the world by that guy. You know what I hope for Draymond? I hope they Bill Lambier him. I hope they say you were just a jock rider for the whole thing. We ain't putting you in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's getting in. I've already argued. I
hope they Bill Lambier him, and he just sits out and is just pissed.
Can you imagine?
Oh, he'd be mad forever.
But
it'd be awesome. It'd be the greatest thing. I could die happy. Because, listen, if you want to be the bad guy and you want to play as the bad guy, accept that role. You do. You're documented like kicking people in the nuts. And then like acting like your leg just unnaturally flailed up right into some guy's crotch. It's like, dude, we know what you're doing. Just admit it.
I think it was a muscle spasm.
I was like, you had Rudy Gobert in a rear naked choke.
Rudy Gobert had that coming.
He almost did go to sleep too.
Thank you.
10 seconds, he might have been out.
You guys want to portray me as an angry player? You are. Just admit it. Not you, Damon. Draymond. We're talking about Draymond.
Thank you. Even though you called me Draymond 10 seconds.
You're a mildly pissed off black guy.
Have a good morning, Matt.
Hey,
what?
Talk to you fuckers next week.
All right, buddy.
That's Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll be back on Tuesday. We're off on Monday. We will be back on Tuesday to talk to you. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.